Are you ready for the eclectic one? AKA Pat is here.
All right, guys. Yeah. Sorry, I am just testing the microphone real quick. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go full screen. Hey, welcome back. Long days journey into night. I cannot tell you guys how much of a it's like 1 week flows into the next, but how insanely busy your boy over here has been. So, cheers to staying on target. Cheers to keep going, not slowing down. Yesterday, my phone died, and I got back and thought I was hoping for a extended hump day, and had to do a lot of things through the laptop. And sometimes, which is fine, but sometimes you're in the rhythm of working on your phone, and I just felt like it slowed me down. It slowed me down so much that I was watching Hump Day and I crashed out. So I do apologize. Previews, previews coming up tomorrow. I'm dropping this from North Star Publishing. Puke and Explode. This is one of the most visceral, crazy, truthful, honest comic book stories I've ever read. The artwork is it's jaw-dropping. It really is. This is one of the best publishing efforts I've seen out of North Star. Previously on this channel from North Star, we did cover Clown Shock. I've tried to research who is the writer and illustrator of this. No luck. And today, we already dropped Grifter. And Grifter's right here. So we did a Grifter video. This is our boy from Playmates Toys. Nice and glossy. Great toy line. Here's Pike from that job. But guys, look how. I mean, I guess the age of toys being reflective is over, right? Nobody wants shiny toys anymore. I don't know why. Dare I say, when they're reflective, when they're shiny, they look a little bit more real. Just been busy, insanely busy. So we gotta do this. Another known as Peter A. DeLuca. I'm here. I'm your host. We're doing Crayola work still, and I kind of been playing with the diamond one, but I wanted to maybe mess around with some of the Crayola pencils here. So why are we working with why are we working with Crayola? Well, I gotta thin out my inventory here. I gotta thin these out. So I thought I would do a run of Crayola artwork and thin some of that out. A little bit of a side note. This is a shard. This is a piece that I found on my drawing table, and I'm unclear of what it belongs to. So if anybody knows, let me know. That'll be great. And then here we go. So I'm evolving past the electric sharpener because I do feel like I want to do a run of if the points make a big difference. So I thought right here in the background we would do some additional shading with the Crayola colored pencil, right? Let's just do as much cool work with Crayola as we can, using all of their materials. Because I love it when people pretend it's a little bit of a flex. You know, if you can produce artwork with any material, it's a little bit of a flex. It really is. Because I know people that struggle to create like period, and then being able to kind of be dynamic enough and pivot and just be a little bit like free and open with your materials. And that's kind of where the subject matter just becomes anything. And that's where you want to be as an illustrator. You always want to be, hey, like I can sit down and draw like anything. Like just I need a good subject. I need a good story. I need. It's good as an illustrator to put yourself in that position. And are we like in an age too where some of that mentality is fading? Where where we have less and less illustrators that can actually illustrate? We very well might be. I don't know enough about the newer talent, like the newer ranks. I just don't. But I pay attention to some commentators. So there's people out there that believe that. And I don't know. I mean, I'm always hopeful. Like I'm always hopeful of the intersection of like art and commerce and technology and art, because you do want things to continue. You don't want to be like doom and gloom. I think when you're excuse me, I think when you're positive, you develop a little bit more of an eye. Oh, what's up, buddy? Let's see some of these chats. I was watching you for a little bit today. I was trying to give myself some downtime. I really was. I was trying to unwind for a little bit, and I couldn't. But I saw that you were on the what's that magazine? That magazine. I always forget the name of that magazine. But yeah, that was cool that you were getting interviewed. Oh, on camera too. On camera. Yeah, I need some. Where's the link? Yeah, if you want to, dude, if you want to jump on, give me 1 second here. Because you know what? You know what? Before, I think I was, yeah, Flip City, Flip City. I don't know why I cannot remember that. Isn't that it? Like it is funny how sometimes, uh, like just like in life or like in general, how there's just things you like can never retain. Give me 1 second, dude. Yeah, I'll shoot you a link because I feel like we gotta hang out, right? And I'm just trying to visualize some of this real quick here. Let's get this. Let's see. I can do it one-handed from here. Invite. Here we go. Let's jump to X. So normally I have like a laptop over here that I can use as like just as an invite. So this is coming to you on X right here. Sent the link. And then yeah, we'll see. Like once I guess like I'll get you into the green room down there. I still have to get a little bit more savvy with getting people on and having that run smooth. But yeah, honestly though, that's not always my objective. My objective sometimes is to come on and do some work. Yeah, I just want to work. Just want to work, and having people hang out is a good thing. can keep you going. Yeah, so I think there's some colored pencils that need the electric, and I think there's some colored pencils that need the regular sharpener, the crank sharpener, I'll call it. Let's see here. Just trying to keep the eye up. And the trick here is to get this to look a little bit more rounded. Maybe it's always fascinating to me how I get triggered by working on some pieces, and you just get like obsessed with it. You keep going back to it. I went back to this Diamondback quite a few times post being live with it, and it's like you kind of think about things when you're not around it. Excuse me, I am struggling for a scratch pad, which I guess I'll have to use this one. We have somewhat of a scratch pad. So, wait, hold up here. Let me get back to. If I had a Crayola pink, that would be very, very helpful right now. Let's see here. Let's get back to. You know what? Here you go. I just got cracked out. I was going to say, where did my purple go? Here he is. He's coming in now. So let me just get this. Let me get that. Let me turn on my speaker. Throw this bad boy on. Hello, sir.
What is up? I'm scarfing down some pizza, but I'll switch to.
No, that's perfect. that's just fine. I can. Let's just we can do that, and then yeah. So we're going with Ohm, and I love it. Here we go. We got your appearance.
I'll switch between this and the pizza cam. That way you don't have to watch me eating.
Yeah, that's right. So what's where did this come from? Why what inspired you to become a visual presenter now?
I don't care. I just don't do it because I don't I don't want to have to beat the ladies off with a stick, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
hopefully it's a blunt stick.
Yeah. Well, it's a belt, right? I use the belter, the back of the hand.
Yeah.
That works too,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, ladies. I'm kidding. I caress and a pat.
Well, like some of the audience girls might be into that too. So you might be like actually talking to them.
No kink shaming, right? No. Yeah. What's up, Haldir? Hell to the Haldir.
Yeah, I know. I love seeing him in around.
Yeah.
He's one of our, he helps so much with the Wednesday
Yeah,
show. I'm always
he's a
grateful.
mainstay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna eat some pizza real quick, and I don't want to share or show that, so I'm gonna mute for
Yeah, it's
just
all right. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
sure.
do it.
Okay, I'll eat it on
Yeah, it
camera.
doesn't matter. Dude, you're becoming like a true live streamer. Pretty soon you're gonna be like in the tub. You're gonna be like in the hot tub talking to people. You're gonna be
Oh
like
yeah, I'm gonna write their names on
shopping
my
or
arm
just
and my butts. Yeah,
yeah, you're
it's gonna
gonna
be
be
great in my
like
speedo.
24/7. You know, you'll be on like job interviews and you'll be live streaming.
Right. Hopefully, I get to stream with Amaranth. That would be great. I'd love to
Yeah,
stream with her.
yeah, that's kind of like who I was thinking of too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's
we're
my
going.
idol. She's my.
Is
I
she? Yeah,
aspire to
I
be
never
just like
like. Are
her.
you like? Do you watch? Like, are you like a Twitcher? Like, do you go through? I never went
Okay,
through
so
Twitch ever to like find people.
I did watch her for a while on Twitch, but that's it. Like I wouldn't give any women money, for Twitch.
Oh yeah, no. I just like I know I would assume by this point that people just would have it on, right? Which is why
Hmm.
like I know like some of those girls get upset when like people watch and they don't donate and things like that, right?
Right.
But yeah, I'm sure like people put it on like television.
Yeah, I would just put it on the TV and big screen it and just kind of like mute it and then fall asleep to it. It was
Yeah.
great, especially when they were doing bikini like shows
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I was like, yeah, well, might as well fall asleep and have good dreams.
Yeah, no, that's a whole other like realm of like like that's a whole other world in my eyes.
Hmm.
But the
Yeah.
it is like an industry, like I as much as weird as I think it is, like I don't knock it because those are people finding ways to get paid.
Oh, and when they were doing the ASMR stuff, oh man, I could fall asleep to that stuff like crazy. It was
Yeah.
great. It was great. And you hear all these little kissing sounds and licking
Oh my god.
sounds and these beautiful babes like just
Yeah.
like talking softly. I was like, oh, you just put me to sleep, honey.
Yeah.
Tell me again. Tell me again.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, mama.
fantastic. Yep.
Dude,
Whisper those sweet nothings.
dude, yeah, I saw that you guys did what, like 5 hours last night?
I think we went 4.5. We were close.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, dude. I thought I was gonna have a chance to like pop on, and I
Uh-huh.
literally just like, yeah, I ran out of like, because I got back at a decent time. I got back around 11, and just kind
Hmm.
of like I put you guys on, went to charge my phone, did like laptop work, and then it was just like a nosedive from the entire day. So I
Yeah.
always feel bad,
Yeah, it sounded like you had a
I,
busy grinding day.
yeah, it's been like the last couple weeks, and that's mostly from my day job is like we are
Hmm.
kind of like I don't want to say like falling apart, but we are running into endless problems with some of our stuff, and some of it's like all night, some of it's like like it's I kind of have to be somewhere 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So like what makes me have like it's like an earlier day essentially. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's like whatever you see me do tonight is going to go right into tomorrow. So
Yeah.
yeah, but either way, like I'll shoot for next week. Faux show.
Yeah. 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 I didn't assume the worst, Pete. Like, oh my God, Pete's dead. I
Oh
didn't, I
no,
didn't
no. I
assume that.
just like I just kind of like I just think it's a like it's a little bit of a rhythm thing, and even if I'm not able to make it, it's like, oh, can I help him promote it? Can I put out like a couple tweets and tag some of the people and stuff like that? Like
Yeah. I think Marcus mentioned something in the DM group. Something. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, whatever. It's all good.
yeah,
Appreciate every
but
time anybody can come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always look forward to you. Rex was like, "Oh, Pete's not here." I was like, "Oh yeah, he had work stuff." I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's just fuck. It does fucking suck though, and sometimes it's that's, but then also like I had to go to the country club, to kind of support a friend, but it's like I didn't mention it in the tweet though, but it's like friend slash like client, so that was even like work related, and and
Yeah.
the SOB didn't even win; he got second, so. Went all that way just to watch a first place loser get a silver plate.
Oh dear, you had to spend time at the country club.
Yeah.
Pete. Oh,
Yeah.
with your mimosas and your
Yeah.
hoity-toity little hors d'oeuvres.
Oh no, yeah, we've done that there a few times too. So, dude, I'm not knocking it. That the place is phenomenal. We always have a good time. But yeah, like I will say this: I'm not a member, but usually it's like the if you ever saw like Flesh Lives with Chevy Chase, there's a scene where he's at a country club and he kind of like orders and he tells them like put it on the Smith's account, and he's like and that's kind of like what it is. If you know who the people are, you can kind of just put it on like their tab, because like they have like quotas. So like a lot of country clubs will be like, hey, like with your membership you can spend like this much money on food and alcohol. So and you have like a quota like at the end of the month, and it's like, hey, like everyone come to the country club, I have like $1,200 to spend. So that's just how some of that works.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
we
got rid
of
my old
one.
man was around. We had a little country club membership for a little bit. It was fun.
Yeah. Hold up here. I'll be done with work in 5 minutes. Good. So what have you been you reading anything? What's been on the comic book docket this week?
Pete, I don't know how to read, Pete. Come on. I just look at the pictures, Pete. Come on.
Yeah.
How many times do we have to go over this? Reading,
that's
for chumps. Come on. Oh.
Yeah. Ayo.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, no. I actually did read Rex's little ash can.
Okay.
That was a fun little read the other day.
Okay.
But I got some books in from Apex Comics, aka Fembat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't read his stuff yet, but that came in last week, and I am trying to get around to reading Dale's book, Sword and Chivalry. Nice. I hear it's about cheese in the end.
So you're on the hump day reading run now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dude, I have a stack of books, and I want to do like I don't want to call them reviews because they're not reviews, they're spotlights, because I want to be positive about them. I don't want to review them and be negative.
Yeah, like a flip through, or like that's
so
something.
I'm
sorry. Yeah, that's something I go back and forth with, like, also, because it's like I want to like showcase people, but I don't want to do like a full review, because like it can I know with me it can go like negative like quick, like like it can kind of go downhill really quick. So I need to kind of like back away from that and find ways to to promote people.
Yeah, 100%. Because you're damned if you do or you're damned if you don't. So it's more like you shouldn't do reviews at all, because someone's gonna like it and someone's gonna hate it, and you're not gonna make everybody happy.
Yeah, I think it's like better to be a little bit encouraging with some books versus like others. So, but that's awesome though, dude. Like you're fully supporting everyone.
Trying to. I look, I have my own issues with like a lot of indie creators. For one, and I know you've talked about this.
Yeah,
their lettering sucks balls.
It's almost like does every one of them, like when it comes to lettering. Like it's almost like the outliers are the ones that where just aesthetically you can look at the page and be like, yo, like this is like fully formed. But
Right.
the
Yeah.
yeah,
And if
like
you're doing hand lettering, dude, work on your penmanship and learn how to letter so it looks like a comic book. And just like your regular handwriting doesn't usually cut it because everybody sucks.
yeah,
Okay. You know what I mean? Like you have to. You either it's there's a fine line where you have to make the line thicker than thinner.
yeah,
And it's always usually thicker.
dude.
Either figure
Speaking of
out how to
that,
use the right pen.
speaking
Yeah,
of that,
go for
real
it.
quick, let me show you because I want to show you before I kind of forget since we're talking about lettering. So this is tomorrow's book for
Mhm.
Friday, and like I'm not going to flip. I didn't want to flip more than like once or twice, but look at the lettering for this, and it's like
Okay.
it's
It looks
giant,
good to me.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Do
but
you not
it's
like
like
it?
no, I love it. I think this is
Oh, okay.
like yeah, I think this is like the way to like break form. Like meaning
Yeah.
like, oh, like I don't want to do word balloons, I don't want to do captions and kind of do it a little bit more like a storybook.
Uh-huh.
This is yeah, and this is why like you kind of have to stockpile like books like this because like you might be a creator and you have to find a way to make your style like fit into something like just as of like on the sense of like presenting the work to the world,
Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and not everything needs to look like a like a Marvel comic, and I don't think it
Right.
should because I think this book like and this one like blew me away like hardcore like it's just like um
Oh, and I'm
and
not saying everything has to be like clean lettered because you can be messy.
yeah
It just has to be artistically kept in mind how you're lettering, if that makes sense. Like word balloons, captions, you have to keep that in mind how it works as a whole. And some of the writing too, like when you say a phrase, if you're like angry at somebody and you're like, hey, you're a bastard, I'm beating you up,
yeah
and then they're like, where is this guy? Could you kindly tell me where this guy is? Like that one last line doesn't fit the rest, you know?
yeah real
So,
quick how is Rex coloring Devil Flyer?
um, I think he's getting John Dillard to color most of it, and I think it's digital. The
Oh
Ashcan is in black and white, so I can't tell you.
yeah, so he's yeah,
Yeah,
I
most
didn't
of
know
it's
he was
digital.
I didn't even know he was going full color. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
hmm yeah.
Well, yeah. Sometimes the kiss of death is full color.
And Tank is coloring his piece, well, like his back cover piece, and
Yeah.
it's digitally colored. Uh-huh.
Nice, nice. There we go.
And
So
the
and
stuff I'm
yeah,
doing for him is watercolored, so it's colored though.
yeah, it's also kind of like a little bit of that like a lot of indie creators, they chase full color. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think there's like a little bit of a discipline in learning to story tell in black and white for like a good stretch. And you kind of like like you develop your storytelling chops with just the bare like like strip it down the bare essentials, and then from there like the color kind of, which is really the formula for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they were black and white and they stayed black and white for a good reason. Like they really didn't go full
Yeah,
color in
dude.
that book till way later.
Dude, yes, for sure. Black and white, if you're printing, you can print black and white all day long, and you're at a 20 to 50% deficit of what a colored version would cost you.
Yeah,
Color is just so expensive, man. It's It's almost kind of like you think, oh, maybe it's a ripoff, but no, just think about it. You're paying for 4 more ink colors, literally,
Yeah.
and the process 4 times, literally.
Well,
Like,
the funny is if you're printing in like black and white, like like the printer's not using black ink. They're it's CMYK, and they're mixing everything to create black. And printers
uh,
in yeah, and printers in my view, they differ. It's a price point, and they know people will spend more money for a color, even though they're mixing black. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I know.
sometimes not all of them are like that, but like some are dedicated just black printers, right? Like they'll like all they do is black and white, so they just print black. They have like their setup is just black and white. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? But some of them
yeah,
do
I don't.
use literally black ink.
Yeah,
Not all of them are like that, but yes, I
but
know what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, like I would say maybe some of that could be like I guess like having like a big press person uh to to talk with, but I would assume that some of the color reproduction is also the paper quality.
Yes, yes. You
Like
know who might know? Rex. He used to work for that
right.
like color graphics or whatever.
Yeah, like Rex or like
And
Shelby
Shelby.
might know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, so when I printed this glitch ash can, the color covers, I printed them all myself on a color laser jet, and that has the 4 colors, right? CYMK and well, K is black, right? So I printed these all myself, and I hand stapled all these, and I made 100 copies. And at the time, I believe they cost me about 75 cents, maybe 50 cents to print all of them, minus the color cover, which I printed myself, which I don't know how much cost because the color printer was, I believe, $200 at the time.
yeah,
But
no, yeah, because like
off the go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, because like with some of that too, like if you're printing at home, like you really want to go with a something like a laser jet printer.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
if you can get like laser jet, and like you can keep that black, but I'm pretty sure even because I think even laser jet like laser jets are ribbons, but I still want to say that they don't
Oh,
work.
sorry.
Yeah,
It wasn't a laser jet. It was a laser color printer. It
yeah,
wasn't the
laser
ink.
color printer. Yeah,
Yeah, right. It's a emulsion, so it's got the big cartridges, and it's
no,
got
yeah,
the thermal cartridge carbon in it.
and then what's your No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of inkjet, not laserjet too.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, now there's a hybrid, right? Called a laser jet, which is what you mentioned. And that laser jet, it has the colors are jet ink, but the black is a thermal black. So that's the K, right? So
yeah,
E is sienna or cyan, uh, magenta, and yellow, right? Those are the 3, and then black. Um, so that's how the laser jets work, and they
yeah.
suck, to be honest.
No, I know.
But
Like they're like that. They are tough. A lot of them too, though. Like they do have good warranties, and
yeah,
when they go, yeah, some of them have like multi-year warranties, and when they act up, they will have like a they're called like cleaning kits, and but it's like
yeah.
it's a box of new parts, and the technician will show up to like install it all.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
that laser jet that I bought to make these, I printed so much stuff on it, man. I used the shit out of it, man. I had it running like 24/7 for like a whole month, man. It was great. But I used
nice.
it
Yeah,
so much the gears like literally melted inside of it because I took it apart and I was like, oh, let me see if I can fix this. But there was like
yeah,
this one big piece in it that was like melted to total crud, man. And it was
yeah,
I was like, oh, I can't fix that. And they probably won't replace this or it's like sell this part separately. So I had to chuck it in the end, man. But it was
yeah.
awesome.
Did did you like do you have a new one? Did you ever replace it?
No, I never replaced it. No, I've been looking at one recently, and I found one. I think it was about $200, but like it comes with starter cartridges, which will give you maybe from what the comments said, a run of 200 color copies, 100 to 200 color copies. And then, but the refill kits, the full replacement kits, I think was $500, and that's just a set of
Yeah,
replacement kits. But
yeah,
supposedly those kits will give you 1,500 copies color.
yeah, and be a little bit wary if you choose a Hewlett Packard, because Hewlett Packards encode their ink now, and you cannot use like third party with uh
Really?
yeah, you cannot use a third party cartridge with Hewlett Packard.
Wow, that
They
sucks.
yeah, it's encoded. They know you can possibly brick your like firmware, and
Hmm.
the HP will shut down. So
That
you
sucks. I
can
used to really like HP.
yeah, like say yeah, I love HP products. Like I love them. I
Yeah.
love their elite books. I love like I think they do good stuff. And
Yeah.
like I unfortunately, I have like a pretty big like like all in one 11 by 17 like scanner, like all that, and uh I bought it for like the scanning quality, but then for the printing I got paid through the nose. So like
Yeah.
I tried to be concise with my purchase, and I still got kind of like screwed over, but I've had it for a few years now. I'm probably due for like a little bit of
Oh
a
man, I have a really old. It's called Muse Tech, I believe. It's a huge 11 by 17 scanner that I bought. Oof, probably like in
oh
2002,
wow
2000, from 2000 to 2005, somewhere there. And it's man, it works. Has never not worked. This thing is chugs along. It's like
yeah
a workhorse, man. It's brutal. I love it. I picked it up for like $200, man. And I recently looked them up on eBay, and man, the prices range from anywhere from $100 to like $600 if you can
yeah
find
like
one. You know?
you get that, but yeah, and there is a little bit of an aftermarket with equipment that you can buy the third party stuff for. I'm sure, like I never looked it up, but I would assume there's a market for HP printers for that same reason. Like people will
Yeah.
spend you spend a little bit extra for like a used HP printer, just so they can save money with the with the ink. But the crazy thing is too is all the HP stuff now interfaces with it's called like Smart Print, or HP Smart, which is their app that only interfaces with so even if you have to like scan or like do, like you used to be able to like tap into your scanner through Photoshop. You used to be able to go to Photoshop and import.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that stuff's getting more and more like it's more troublesome, because like these manufacturers, like everyone's like making everything like their own, like it's all proprietary now. So
It's no longer plug and play like it used to be in the old days, and you're using these ancient weird drivers that just work.
yeah, yeah. Well, hey,
Yeah, because
yeah. I will say I'm pretty sure every single modern like Windows computer already has like HP default drivers, like preloaded. So like you can print like text documents and things like that. But if you needed to elevate like a higher function of printing, just like printing like full color or bleeding like right to the edge,
yeah,
you need
sure,
the software for that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
dude, it's nuts,
And you'll
man.
never
Like
get full bleed though, like off a printer, home use printer.
no,
It's really hard to get a full bleed.
yeah,
You always get like even a quarter or a little sliver along the edge. You know.
yeah, I think I know there's a like Brother makes it, but Brother should
Hmm.
have a 11 by 17 or whatever like large format printer for desktop that does go full bleed. Like I've
Oh
seen
yeah,
that.
yeah. Brother's pretty good, man. So that last printer I bought, that laser color, it was a Brother,
Yeah,
and it was a like, even though like they kind of seem to make knockoff HP products to some extent. They're so much more reasonably priced.
Yeah, yeah, and Brother, I do like Brother a lot. I'll probably, when I'm done with this one, I will most likely like switch to Brother.
And I don't know what it is about like that brand or whatever, but I plugged that thing into like multiple computers, and every single computer it worked with. Like it didn't matter if it was an old computer, a new computer, a laptop. That thing
Yeah,
just worked. You plugged it in USB and like bloop, here's a printer. You need to print something?
yeah.
Print. It was great. It was great.
uh, Sorry, I'm just
Yeah,
I'm
so
looking.
I'm not gonna work on anything. I just kind of wanted to hang out and chit chat with
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah. I'll yeah. Let's just kind of.
I
We'll
was gonna
just.
see if I had some Crayola markers and color pencils, and I know I have a set somewhere. They're just not here. Like I think they're in my storage
Yeah,
out back.
the infamous storage.
Yeah, yeah. The infamous
Yeah,
storage.
I'm just like I'm kind of happy because just by talking to you, I got rid of 3 blues. So like
Oh, nice.
some of these are like yeah, like too dried out, even for you know getting them like if you want to do the aqua trick. But yeah,
Okay,
'cause-
so let me something I would do as an art teacher with all those dried up markers, because at the end of the year we'd have all these markers, right? And the kids would try to just throw them away. I said, no, just put them in this bin. This is all the used ones. I would take them and I would put them in these jars with water and just let them sit there, and they would eventually turn into like really watered down watercolor.
yeah,
And then I would
yeah,
let them use that for watercolors. When they got to use the nicer watercolors, then they were more appreciative
yeah,
because they used the crappy Crayola water, marker water, and then they got the nice moist little Prang watercolor sets, and they were like they took care of them and were more respectful of their supplies. It was great.
yeah. Speaking of prang, I need to order. I guess like I never realized that they were like lower end, but the prangs work really good with the cardboard. And like
Really,
yeah, so like I have these like left over, but I think these are like a different um
I have these. I have some
like,
prangs right here. Yeah.
yeah, I think these ones are like retro ones because the
Uh-huh.
newer ones don't have the corresponding numbers. So these are all numbered.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, and but if you go to Amazon, you can buy like a pack of like 70 for like $8. So I
yeah.
was just going to
So
order
mine
like
have
one.
numbers on them too. Mine have
Do you?
numbers on them too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe okay, maybe like what I saw on Amazon, maybe that like those aren't
No,
updated.
you're right. You're right. You're 100% right. I'll tell you what the difference is and why they
Yeah,
are like that. Okay, so back in the day, Prang was a premium brand. It was actually better than Crayola,
yeah, that's
and
kind
these
of
were
what I remember. Yeah,
and they're creamier and more pigmented than Crayola. But these are the ones that are before like 2010 when they were being made in Mexico. Then something happened where somebody bought them out, or they changed the formula a little bit in Prang, and they started making them in China because obviously they wanted to make them
uh,
cheaper. Yeah.
yeah,
So the ones before, and you might have a retro set, which is what I have here. These are much more creamier than the new ones, and they're more. They used to be a little bit more expensive too.
yeah.
Um,
I remember they were always be in like the premium section of the art store.
right, and you could only get them at the art store, but once they started making them in China, then you could buy them at Walmart, and they
Then they
never had them
kind
at
of
Walmart.
yeah, then they
Yeah.
kind of went everywhere. Yeah, that does make like a lot of sense because
Mhm.
like these ones, dude, like the green one here is such a good green. And I'm
Mhm.
like, dude,
Mhm.
I'm like, I need so that's a little bit of what slowed down my cardboard piece of drawings is
Yeah.
it's like I kind of ran out of all my colored pencils and I had such a supply when I started that, like, like I exhausted everything, and now I'm like, like I have to reverse like engineer like some of these
Yeah.
materials, and I'm kind of going crazy doing it because I want things to look like they need to be a little consistent.
Right. Man, Rex. So Rex started working on them. He's like on his fourth one now. He's
Oh,
all
is it
about the pizza rounds. He loves
nice?
it, dude. He's
Dude,
he's in.
I was working on the logo earlier for the
Uh-huh.
for the Knights of the Pizza Rounds. So
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
that's great,
I was
dude.
yeah. So I'm going to like premiere that soon, and depending on like what I do with it, I'm like, oh, I really kind of want to do a like an AI promo video for it, and kind of have like some
Yeah.
really cool like effects and graphics for us.
Right, like that little one you made with the showing Tank and myself
Yeah,
and you and Rex. Yeah, that
dude.
was awesome, dude. That was
I
great.
kept forgetting to check with you. Did you notice that glitches in that too?
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed it.
okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
what? Well, it's like you may not, some people might not know it's their character because like Rex,
Yeah,
dude,
I
Rex,
didn't notice. Go for it.
yeah, and Rex is tough, dude. Like I probably wasted like probably like 45, $50 in failed renders
What?
on Rex.
Oh,
Yeah.
that you spent money on that? Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
dang.
like you have to when you do when you do that level stuff. Yeah.
It
So
was good. Like it was good. Yeah. Yeah. So the first time I watched it, I didn't notice the glitch thing, but I was like, huh. The second time I watched it, I was like, oh shit, that's what he's trying to do. Ooh, wow. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Blah blah blah. I was telling myself in my
yeah,
head
I
all
thought
that. I
yeah, I
was
thought it should
we
be like
hadn't had a
our
chance to talk about it, so
like our guys, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to do one of my characters, so it was like, oh, let me do like an AI like Peter, like let's do like an
yeah,
AI
yeah,
Peter at the drawing table, and but dude,
yeah.
like
That was
that
great.
that stuff's fun though. Like I like the challenge of like figuring out like the flow of prompts and kind of like
Yeah,
it's cool stuff. It really is. And who the hell cares? Like, right? Like, who
right.
cares? I don't
Yeah,
fucking care. Yeah.
it's fun playing with the AI stuff. It is fun, like, and you have to be. I think you have to be a little bit of talented with coming up with the prompts. Like, it's not just like throw whatever and stick to it. Like in the beginning, you kind of throw something at it and see what sticks, and then you have to fine tune it, right? And I'm not saying that that's actually art or talent. I'm just saying it does take a little bit of thought, a little bit.
Oh no, no, yeah. And sorry, I think right there my Wi-Fi dipped because I lost my lights real quick. But yeah, and
Yeah.
so I was like one of the things I was experimenting with is using
Mhm.
AI to prompt AI. So I would
Oh, it's fascinating.
yeah. So like I
Postmodern,
would be like,
postmodern.
hey, like please prompt like I want to do this. Please prompt this for me for like this effect. And kind of
Uh,
like weighing those two against each other. And
right.
and I'm trying to get like really efficient with it. So I can kind of do like a quick concept or a super fast like logo and just like have like quick available logo samples like for whoever.
Right. Sure,
Like I
sure.
did the new Top Cow Tuesday stuff all with
Yeah, I
AI,
saw it. Yeah.
like the new background,
Really?
the new logo, all the new like oh there will be oh no the Top Cow live intro is what I can do I have that here? I can maybe show that to you real quick. No, is it here? I think it's on a different one. Yeah, but I did like cybernetic like soldiers going through the jungle and like stuff like that for Top Cow Tuesday.
Right.
So some of that's like coming up, and I
Was
wanted.
it you? I was. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no! You go. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna ask real quick. So you talk since we're talking about AI. I don't know if it was you or who I was watching earlier, but somebody said that like Stephen Platt's coming back to comics because he lost his job thumbnailing for the movies because they're using AI now to thumbnail everything.
Oh, dude.
And they're
Okay. So here,
was
I'll
it
tell
you?
you a quick. I'll tell you a quick thing with Stephen Platt, real quick. So I
Okay.
had a friend of mine that kind of hung out with him. I think at Baltimore or Boston, like recently. And
Uh-huh.
my friend calls me and he's like, "Oh, I'm just like Stephen Platt," and he's like, "Stephen Platt was just telling me he storyboarded Kong Godzilla New Empire." And I'm like, okay, like like I'm entertaining it
Mhm.
because in Peter World I already know that's BS because I know who storyboarded that fucking movie. So
Mhm.
and he goes, yeah, and he also storyboarded Twisters, and he said he was on the set every single day. And I'm like,
Okay.
what storyboard artist is on the set every single like day? Like that's a little like weird. And then
Right. Yeah.
right,
Because it's
and
all
then
pre-production stuff. Like,
yeah,
why
and
would you
then
be
like
there
yeah,
daily?
and I'm a member of like IMDb Pro because I do like little things here and there. Um, so I have to like look people up really quick sometimes. So I looked
Huh?
up that movie. Like he's not
Yeah.
in IMDb Pro for either movie. Okay. So
Right.
and keep in mind the guy who does Kong X Godzilla, he's Ryan Benjamin. He's a Wildstormer. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
know what he does, right? Like, right, because it's some of a random thing to know off the top of your head.
Right.
Yeah, but
Dude,
Ryan Benjamin,
I can't stand the way Ryan Benjamin talks about uh, tutorials.
yeah, oh yeah,
Your primitives and oh god, shut up already. Just fucking draw.
yeah.
Sorry.
He developed like a talk to walk people through his drawing so he can sell courses. Like that's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like what that is. But no, and so like like and who knows? Like I don't
And
even
I
know
love
how
Ryan
true.
Benjamin's art.
Yeah, and I don't even know how true like that Stephen Platt stuff was, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, around that same time, I dropped um a Liam Sharp video about that
Mhm.
alien book, and
Yeah, yeah.
here's the wild thing. So someone that knows me through Facebook, who knows Liam, right?
Yeah.
Who was
Uh-huh.
also at that convention, messages me and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "I am like friends with Liam. I will
Uh-huh.
like like here's his email. Like he does like a whole email like intro for like the two of us, and so he starts this like email conversation, okay,
Yeah.
with Liam Sharp and all this stuff, and I'm like, look, like coming up this year, I want to focus on a lot of your stuff. So I'm like, but what are the crevices? Because I just don't want to do Death's Head and Green Lantern and some of this like other stuff. And then
Mhm.
I eventually was like, hey, like, were you at this convention with like Stephen Platt? Like, just side note, like, was he like running his mouth? Because I'm trying to like fact check something. And then I'm not going to like repeat what the response for that was. Right. But like,
I thought you were.
yeah, but within like a short period of time, and it's all like like it's just these weird things that kind of happen around, like around me sometimes, and so
Yeah.
like I get my friend back on the phone, and I'm like, dude, I'm like next time we hang out, like you need to bring me through this whole Stephen Platt because now I understand why people like potentially have issues working with the guy. Because maybe
Uh-huh.
he is just like a flat out like bullshitter, like a bullshitter.
Uh-huh.
And if he's at a comic book show, he can't be there for like Moon Knight and Prophet. He's got to act like he's like a Hollywood guy, and that doesn't mean he
Uh-huh.
doesn't have Hollywood credits. He does. Like we can look him up,
Right.
but
Uh-huh.
yeah. dude, like, like they, I just like, I'm just trying to envision what the production is like of Twisters if he's on the film set the entire time. You know, like, are they like Steven?
Yeah, why?
Like, you can't shoot this scene until you're done with the storyboards. Like,
yeah, Steven. Steven, we're gonna
draw-
have the truck flying right at us, Steven.
Yeah.
Can you draw that for us?
yeah, like, you know, like this scene has fucking sheep. Put that sheep in that storyboard right now. We'll fix it in editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, like,
In
yeah,
post.
but there really always is a reason why, like, people disappear from comics, which kind of goes back to the Travis stuff on Wildstorm Wednesday, where you kind of have to, like, you know, like, you do have to question, how did this guy really, like, disappear? Because, you know, like, his stuff sold, and I get it, like, he's late, he's a late guy, but wow, like, did he just fade away?
That's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. I've always wondered why, like, Marvel would pick him up in a heartbeat, no matter how late he is,
Yeah,
right? And
that's the
pay
thing,
him a
yeah.
shitload of money. Like, and I was like, how come he never went to Marvel? Like, what happened there? Who kept paying him and why? Like,
Yeah,
somebody. It's like the same thing DC did to Marvel with Jim Lee, right? Did Jim Lee do that to Travis? Like, oh, we'll keep him on the payroll, and we'll give him a $40,000 a year salary, and he ain't got to do shit
yeah.
as long as he doesn't go work for Marvel, right?
Right, and some of it is, yeah, like, you prevent the other team from like hiring that talent.
Right. The
Yeah,
same thing they say about Chris Claremont, right? Like, he's been on the Marvel payroll for the last 30 years and hasn't had to write shit as long
yeah,
as he doesn't go write for DC.
yeah. And you know what, too? I think with him, I am like, I see people post all the time. They're like, these X-Men books are shit, and you got Chris Claremont, like, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, maybe maybe we don't want Claremont writing X-Men anymore. Like, maybe
Yeah,
we don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think he's someone too that I think his time has come. Like, I don't know if he really has done much outside of X-Men. And I went
Yeah,
on like a pretty good run of reading like his, like, other than X-Men work. Because of Top Cow Tuesday and Wildstorm Wednesday.
Right.
And like, I got, dude, like, right next to
The
me,
Hunter.
like right here. Like, I have his, like, I have his fucking books right here. I tried reading these a few times. Like, you know, like, and they're okay. It's like, I call this, like, it's grocery store science fiction. Like, it's these are what you would buy at the point of sale in the grocery store. With the
right.
with,
Didn't they
with
turn those two into comics? I could have swore they made those as little comic book run.
I think they did. I think they may have, but there was also a book called Wild Cards. Wild Cards that kind of had like similar imagery, and I think some people confused like this, like just the cover with Wild Cards, and I think that might have been like Marvel Epic, because Marvel Epic was still cooking back then. But no, it's just comics is weird though, dude. Like, and I think we're seeing some of that with the the current run of CG drama, where it's just like, man, like, it is a weird business. A weird business.
Oh man, all I can do is laugh at it. It is so weird. Yes, like all the anger and all the hate, man. It's just I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, to be honest. Like,
straight
just help
hate.
each other, right? How do you just? But like, why would like with the drama with Fraga and stuff? Like, I don't know. Like,
oh yeah,
like,
I thought, dude.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I thought that would be like somewhat nice to do, because Fraggo's been nice to me since the MySpace days.
Yeah, Fraggo's like, nice to everybody, dude.
Yeah, because like I was pitching him a return to Black Flag during MySpace. Like, like and he
Yeah.
would respond. He would write back. So like I just and I get it, dude. Like I know, like sometimes things are said, but at the end of the day, these are just people talking. Like there's nothing. They're just yapping, and it's like, who cares, dude? Like who? I'm just waiting for like EVS and Eric July to do a collab. Yeah, like for them to do like an ISOM Cyberfrog crossover book.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh wow, Pete. Jeez, yeah, like that would destroy the internet.
Well,
That would destroy.
but real quick though, you know what? What it is though, it would be no different than when Marvel and DC were so desperate in the '90s. They did their crossovers, right? Like,
You're
they
absolutely
did.
correct. Yeah.
Like they did Access, they did Silver Surfer, Green Lantern, and like the Dark Knight, Punisher. Like the list goes on and on. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where, like they did that for sales, and they did that to take sales away from Image Comics.
Image Comics, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're
And
re-releasing the omnibus of that stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Within the
yeah,
next
where
couple of
people
months,
said,
actually.
and people were like, "Oh, that'll never come back out." Like blah blah blah. It's like, no, dude, because why are they doing that? Because sales are down again, right?
Yeah, and
So
if I heard correctly, they're gonna pitch a new run
yeah,
of that amalgamation stuff with the
yeah,
omnibus being the prelude to it, or yeah.
yeah. So you're telling me when the Rippleverse dips and all the CG stuff like truly dips, you're telling me that they're not going to be like, hey, maybe it's better for both of us. Let's let's have these characters cross over. Let's
Wonder Twins unite.
Yeah.
Activate rings. Cyberfrog ring activated.
Yeah.
Eric July. Rippaverse ring activated. Yeah, we've been ignoring chat. Chat's going off.
Yeah, are they? Yeah, what are they doing? Yeah. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, here you go. Cheap stream boo here. Cyberfrog versus ISOM. Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%. I think that's. But so just to preview it real quick, tomorrow's opinion video is going to be the what will end crowdfunding for comics.
Oh, what will end crowdfunding? Huh.
Yeah. It's like this is something that I feel like is one step away from happening. So
what you think we'll see that in our lifetime? I don't think crowdfunding will end even for comics because it's so niche. That's the problem. Like with even if like somebody made $100 on crowdfunding, that'd be enough to print.
Okay, so like
copies,
so maybe I can like adjust that. Maybe it's crowdfunding as a variable revenue for people will.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Sure.
For
you're not gonna be a sustained business off crowdfunding.
For
at some point,
independent guys,
right?
Like that's kind of what that's what the position is. And I shot that earlier and I almost dropped it, but then I forgot that I even shot this whole like Todd McFarlane one about Diamond. I
just saw it. I watched it. I messaged you on it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, dude, totally. But dude, like, that's where like I go from one thing to the next so quickly. Sometimes I forget because I went into my files to do the videos, and I'm like, I'm like, why is this one 5 minutes? I thought it was like 8 or 9 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, this is like the crowdfunding. Like I kind of get like the timestamps mixed up because I just move on and like the whole day can go by. But but I think the two of them are linked because I do feel like some of the stuff I said in that McFarlane one about like we even have to look at comic shops where what do they have to sell? like even if comic shops came back tomorrow, let's say they doubled. Let's say there's 5,000 comic shops tomorrow. Dude, what are they even selling? What the hell are they selling? I don't know.
Yeah. Back issues, bro. They're selling back issues like crazy right now. Back issues, big name issues, the Todd cover issues and the Todd interior issues, like you were talking about. That's what they're selling. They're selling all that shit, Not new books, but that shit. Oh, and maybe some absolute Batmans, right?
Yeah.
But that's about it.
But the other thing
Spawn's
too,
still selling.
As much as I guess as much as it can, but it's
right.
Tomorrow's opinion video too. Some of it is stemming out of the crowdfunding books not penetrating into comic shops. I think that's a really big problem too. And but when you look at some of the crowdfunded books that came out of webtoons, they create adult graphic novel, young adult graphic novels, and they go right into bookstores with their crowdfunded money. So they're kind of getting that next audience, and American comics are not though.
Okay, explain to me webtoons a little bit more, because I'm familiar with it, but not as far as what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's essentially you can scroll and read comics. So everything
John's John Apple on the Hump Day show, his zombie comic is on there with his writer. They have it on webtoon.
Yeah, and so but the thing is, webtoons has had their own spikes. They've created talent that got popular on their network, and you can kind of argue that they're the only platform that's done that. So they got into publishing now and stuff like that, but before then the people would go from webtoons and they would crowdfund a graphic novel with new material. And some of those hit really high numbers, but then those books.
100,000? What are we talking about?
No, I think some of them broke. They've had 1 million. I know
1 million.
People,
oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, people broke real numbers off of webtoons. I want to say there was one that got 5 million.
Yes, how there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Halder was saying the Lucent was on webtoons for. Half issues. It was, yeah.
Yeah, and
then he moved on to crowdfunding.
But what happens from that point though is that the webtoon stuff goes into Barnes and Noble. Where when Ethan gets Cyberfrog going and he publishes and fulfills that just goes to whoever ordered it.
The backers,
Yeah,
he's not making publishing deals on the back end to get into Barnes and Noble. Yeah, people have asked him about that. People have asked him about it, and he's like, "I have no interest in doing that."
But some of that too is all right, if he's not doing it, which is fine, that's his model could really be direct to consumer, and his people are diehard enough, so on and so forth. But you kind of have to look at a lot of the other guys. Not doing
well, that's kind of what he says. I don't need to go to Barnes and Noble because I have my consumers here, and he has enough to sustain. And the other reason he said, from what I can remember, don't quote me on this, but he said, I don't want to have to give up 50% of my product to have a retailer price so that they can make the 50%. I'll just keep it. So even though I may not be expanding my audience, I have enough of an audience to sustain, right? He doesn't want to give away money. It makes sense, but
but he's I think he's a little bit of the exception because he does have, he has
a huge
he's got fever around him, and people they're okay. They're okay with everything that comes with EVS. And I guess you and I are somewhat that same way too, because it's not like we don't support like all the efforts of all caps, right? Like we do want all
Right,
caps to
right,
kind of like succeed. So
right. Yeah, yeah.
here we
But
go.
at the same time, by not going to Barnes and Nobles, are you limiting your audience and the full potential of your total growth and net worth? Like that's another thing, right? You got to weigh those two things.
Right. And but then but where some of that comes, like I guess where some of that comes to a head is like, where is the audience though? Like, is the audience because when I go to my Barnes and Noble, and I have a big one here in Philly, there's
Yeah,
literally like a whole section for young adult graphic
yeah,
novels. It's
yeah,
bigger
yeah.
than the American comic book side at this point. And you
Uh-huh.
want to say, and there's Star Wars young adult, there's Marvel DC young adult, and you kind of want to say they're like, well, they're not publishing comics anymore, and it's like, well, like they are, like people are just like literally reclassifying what that is, and
Right.
you have this other side pretending that like, oh, we need to give out comic books for movies. Like when someone goes to see Brave New World, we need to give out comic books to people. It's like, no, dude, like those kids seeing Brave New World have Brave New World like comics in the kid comic section at Barnes and Noble. It's not in like like it's like the category shifted. So like I would say like you have to be where like that category is going. And I think that's like a bigger thing.
Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I get you. I get you. Yeah. I'm following. I'm
Like
following.
you kind of have to
Yeah.
go where the people are, and EVS needs to like he needs to wind down Cyberfrog until he can't sell it anymore. But by that point, he'll be fine. He'll be like retired. It's
Oh
really like
yeah.
the next wave. Like it's none of the Kings. The Kings have a built-in audience. This is like really like what the next wave is.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's just me. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective. I like it. You're like the next wave. What's the next wave after the Kings, right? Like in the CG arena or indie market or whatever, right? What's the next wave, right?
Well, what's going
Because
to happen
they
when?
kind of succeeded, right? They kind of succeeded. I would say,
Yeah,
as a group, they've made over what $5 million as a group,
yeah,
maybe more. I don't know. I don't know,
probably
but
more. Yeah,
that's enough to sustain. That's just enough to sustain a career and a lifelong career at this point. I would think for most of them, and they could probably retire if they've made 500,000. Like you just leave that money in the bank for a year or two, and you could just live off the
yeah,
interest or
yeah.
mutual funds or whatever. Yeah, and still make comic books,
I just
that pay
I
for themselves, off
yeah.
the interest you're making if you got the right bank and the right,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
portfolio and
I
shit.
think any bank would give you a livable like interest rate. So like any
Yeah.
bank will take that deposit. But no, it's
Right.
yeah, and it really is like it's a little bit of like thinking like a futurist, because if we are to assume that comic shops are going to shrink and disappear, then like the product's going, like the comic book product is going to shift, and we kind of see where it's already shifted. So when like let's just say, what if like comic shops really go extinct? Where
What's the
like
product shift? What is the comic book turning into, in your opinion?
it's
What
turning into young adult graphic novels.
Okay, graphic
Yeah,
novels. That's where I thought you were
yeah,
going.
yeah. Like the I Am Starfire like stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean like not that
It's
though,
moving
but
away from the floppy, right? It's moving away from the floppy. Nobody
I
wants the floppy anymore. They want a prestige format kind of book feel, right? Everybody, because they're in the end, like everybody's, even though like the American comic book industry has never like fully embraced comic books as an art form, really. it's all kind of moving that way, right? Because I think manga, right, is pushing that aspect of a book and not a comic book, right?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I think it's also like, yeah, like I do agree with that, but it's also like where it's shifting that no one's picking up is like, for example, like Jim Lee today just announced like audio episodes, like a pod, like it's like a podcast, but they're going to be doing these audio episodes of classic DC stories. And I think they're doing year one as like the first one. And you could just be like,
Really?
oh, like that's kind of like, that's different, and people who don't know will maybe like discover it. And but like really what's happening with that is they're saying like we're going to find as many different ways to repackage this stuff as possible. And that's the new business model for the major two, which is they're going to find new ways to get you to buy the Dark Phoenix saga. They will make it animated. They will make it into like an audio thing, and they're not interested in the newer stuff. Like they're not interested in making the stories anymore because they have a catalog, and they're like, we can monetize the catalog, and that's kind of where all of that's going. So Marvel and DC are just going to be like, well, we're out of comic shops, and we're just going to just reprint and reformat what we already have, and probably have a very small publishing profile. Like they'll print like a couple books a year at that point, but then they'll reprint everything to death.
Right, and in book format and graphic novels, omnibuses, artisan tiers, hardcover, softcover, mini book, backpack size,
partially
blue
soft
team,
hardcover,
right? Transformer in $50.
Yeah, in a physical book.
That's awesome, Haldir.
Yeah, I was just reading that, but yeah, and like I think these are like some of the bigger like concepts out there, because it's not like there is a little bit of a failure of the readership, right? Because like all this movie stuff and all, like I know people can say it's the quality of the comics and comic books went woke, and like some of that is some of that's true, like some of that I agree with, but in all though, like where are the new readers that see like Thor Love and Thunder, and they're like, you know what, like I am woke, I am an SJW, I'm buying this comic. Like that never happened. So then it's just like
that never happened.
Yeah. So then it's like who, like people just, it's not in vogue.
Who's it for then? Who's it for then, right? Like
Yeah,
it wasn't for the woke crowd you thought it was, and because they didn't buy shit. Who did you make these for then? And it's no one. It's you made it for no one.
Yeah, but I think to like Disney's credit, or more like the Marvel Studios, like to their credit, they were making a bet of where they thought the audience was, and they were trying to stay ahead of it. Yeah, which I think is a fair position, because you want to do that as just like being like like as a marketer, right? Like you want to, like as a marketer, like you want to be like, we're 5 years ahead of this trend. If we
you want to project your audience and guide your audience so that you know the audience, and are trying to manipulate the audience to do and buy whatever you want. That's what marketing is, right?
Yeah, and
they're trying to manipulate you buy their shit.
That's how I view, and that's how I view a lot of those efforts. And like, but when they fail, people want to say like nobody wanted a female Thor, and it's like, oh, like maybe like you're probably right, but that's not why they did it though. Like, and Disney's probably like, holy crap, dude! Like we thought we had the like we thought we hired the right activist people to steer this stuff, and like they're probably like, we thought we even hired the wrong people who knew about this crap. And then like when it doesn't work, like you're left holding the bag, and you're stuck.
Well,
Like
it's like in the 90s. It's like in the 90s when they used to say, "Oh, we know there's a bigger female audience out there in comic books. So we need to foster and grow our female audience." And that shit never happened.
never. Yeah,
Like maybe there was like a slight bump of like 10% somewhere in there, but not significant enough that, oh, we need to start making comics for women, because it was
yeah.
never
I
about
don't
that.
think it's
Like,
even. You know what got more women into comics? Cosplay. Cosplay got more
yes,
women
cosplay.
into buying
Sure.
comics than
Hmm.
comics themselves.
and
Right?
and and you know what was a big impetus to that cosplay bullshit? Hot, sexy women comic characters. Not
Yes.
not they would. We're talking about Lady Death. We're talking about She. We're talking about uh like all the bad girl comics, Tomb Raider. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
dude.
it's all that
Everything.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the bad girl
And then
era.
they look at all the hot guys, right? Like all the buff guys, and they want to find buff cosplayer guys to go with them.
Well, same here.
Right?
Always
I mean,
looking for
that's
the buff guys.
they want to find their He-Man, the cosplayer chicks, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you
yeah.
know,
Well, some of
yeah.
them too. Like I remember seeing like on because I used to love seeing that stuff on Facebook, like way back, and
Right. Back in the
like the
day, yeah.
cosplayers, like it would just be fascinating, and
Because it was some of their costumes were so good. It seemed like they were better than the movies.
yeah, and there was this one bodybuilder that was like Logan, and he would just have like the jeans and like the claws, a cigar, but he would have like a wife beater, and he was just
Uh-huh.
like jacked, you know.
Yeah.
But he grew out his
Yeah.
hair, and he became the character, and you would just
Yeah.
be like, wow, like someone had this level of commitment. And I can't even bring myself to read the new Wolverine issue. You know, and
Right.
then
I
it's
can't
good
even bring myself to do 10 push-ups this morning. God.
yeah,
You have to look
I
at that
do.
specimen of a man.
Yeah, and you're just like mother effer,
Yeah.
like fake cosplay Wolverine is getting me, making me feel like garbage.
Yeah. Damn it. I always wish I was Wolverine.
Yeah, but
Oh,
dude,
man. I'm going to go draw Wolverine.
yeah, right. I'm doing Logan right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, dude. Like I think that's kind of where there's
Excuse me.
these like deeper conversations and why comics aren't selling that people have that I don't think a lot of it has to do with comics. I just don't. I think it's ideology. I think it's like all of a sudden like every single comic book influencer like in our sphere, like on our in our little category, like all of them, dude. It's like they tweet politics endlessly. Their politics is in their live stream. Like I popped in on one earlier and I just turned it off because I'm like they were doing.
It gets annoying. Yeah, it gets so annoying. Like, guys, just talk about the comics you like. Talk about good things. Talk about your art. Talk about fun things you want to do. Just all this endless complaining and crying. It's like, okay, go to the other side if you want to do that. Just be like them. That's what they do all day.
Yeah,
Like,
and and
it's
and again too, I feel like I gotta say some of this stuff with a caveat. It's not like I don't agree or see what they're saying, right? Like
right. Yeah.
I know what they're saying. I can track it. I know what's happening. Um, but we need comic book people back. That's the thing. We need
Yeah.
comics for
We need
comic book people.
we need to make comic books fun again, Pete. Let's
Yeah,
make comics fun again.
let's make or like let's make comic books comics again. How about
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I guess I have to start penciling another one now, right? Because I don't know what I'm doing with these. I'm just
They
kind of
look great. They look great. I love the monotone cap there on the right, and
yeah,
man, that
and
what's her name? The purple chick. She's sexy. That pose
Diamondback.
is great.
Yeah,
Diamondback. Yeah, I remember that character.
Diamondback.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have some of those.
Yeah,
comic
Diamondback.
somewhere.
And just so you know, to preview, Diamondback will be featured. Because now I'm debating what the flow of the Ron Lim stuff will be. So the Ron Lim stuff, I might I guess like experiment with the presentation. I might do like I might go like for Ron Lim, like if we have Ron Lim's like timeline, and let's say like
Yeah.
here's new, and like as old, like I
Yeah.
might do like
Uh-huh.
new and then go to old and then go to, like kind of like
Oh, that's
zigzag
cool. Yeah, jumping
like
back and
that.
forth. Yeah.
Because like here
Yeah.
is going to be like Silver Surfer. So like,
Yeah.
and I can't just like, like because this will take me like a year, and nobody
Yeah.
nobody wants to stick around for Ron Lim Silver Surfer for a year.
Oh man, that's gonna be an awesome playlist, man. Once you get those done, that's pretty dope.
But no, I think like he's a guy. Like the more I get into his stuff, I'm like, wow, like people really do like sleep on him. But he's the one that really like he illustrated the Diamondback story with Captain America. So like which is why because like I kind of grew up reading like her story arc. So like to me like this is like a Ron Lim like homage. Like just even though he didn't co-create or create Diamondback, I view Diamondback as like a Ron Lim character. So. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So who do we need? Who could be a good monochromatic choice? That's not the Hulk. That's not a Green Hulk. Yeah.
What about a Johnny Storm? Could we get a fire orange? You said green, right?
Well, no, I mean it could be. Well, you know what? Wait. Yeah, let me take that back. Let's make it green because I have all of these, and I need to chip away at those. So we need a green. Oh yeah. No, I have all these green too. See, I got two rows of green here. I need to exhaust the green.
What about what's her name? Since you brought up Ron Lim, and I'm thinking Silver Surfer. Thanos, what's her name? Is it Gamora? Was she green?
Gamora's green.
Her original?
Yeah. Costume? Oh yeah, actually her old costume, her like bodysuit, I think she was like green hair, green skin, and green let's look at.
Didn't she have a green cape? Or who? Maybe I'm thinking
you
of
might
another
be
character.
Thinking of Moondragon.
Moondragon.
Yeah, hold up. Let me show you. Yeah, Moondragon, Marvel.
Was she bald?
Yeah, that's Moondragon right here.
Okay, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. So
either one of those or both of those would be cool.
Yeah, maybe like here. Let's do Gamora. And how do I'll tell you what I hate when you do like the Google search, you get all the new stuff. Like because this is her post movie. Oh, here we go. This is her original costume.
Yeah, that's a badass one. I like.
Yeah, dude, I don't even think that's been sculpted, right? Like, has that been an action figure or like a bust or like a Bowen?
Oops. I don't think so. But yeah, I was thinking of Moondragon too. Her and Moondragon.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe like I'll do this, and then we'll try and work in Moondragon somewhere.
You got two panels there, one and one.
Oh yeah. You mean like to do that? Yeah, I was gonna put them both in one. All right, yeah, we can do. Yeah, because you know what I'll do for her? I'll put Thanos. Like we'll do like the floating Thanos head over here, right?
Nice.
And then we'll do her. Yeah.
And are you gonna monotone him in green too, like the background?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because like that's cool. What if you remember if you saw when I was drawing this. I kept drawing the Red Skull. Like I just like I couldn't get it for whatever reason, which is why I kind of put the design of the winged eagle. Like so, this is like but I wanted I like the idea of a blue Red Skull. like in
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
but yeah, we'll do
Those of you
dinos
all
here.
out on the interwebs, if you're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, give Peter a like,
Yeah.
share, follow, and subscribe, folks.
Like them. You better like them.
Pete puts a lot of effort in making these videos for the world, people. So like, share, follow, and subscribe. Come on, show your homeboy some love.
We are we're so here because I know you sometimes you're curious about it. So the other day I had a conversation with someone who is very deep into comic book history, like really deep. Like he's a journalist. He's like a lot of the people I talk about. So when I do like my Bob Kane videos, like he spoke, like he's got history with some of those people.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the Bob Kane stuff. And so he mentioned that in Will Eisner's, because I was telling him like the Will Eisner deep dive is one of my next moves for the Bob Kane stuff, because they, like, and Marcus is great, because Marcus was like really good with reminding me and tagging that relationship. So some of my position now is like, well, let's see what Eisner has said, right? Like this, let's see what this mother effer has said, because if Bob Kane's so evil, right? You think he's got to say something, right? Like,
and didn't Marcus have some connection with all that? Like he said that Will Eisner was at a school when he was at that school or something.
Yeah,
like that,
so they went to high school. Yeah, they're high school bros. Okay. Yeah.
What's up,
Which is like,
MMB?
which goes to show you, like, man, you're like, that high school must have been fucking lit, right? Like,
Yeah.
right? Like people just
Dude,
like,
what a time.
like like people just like,
it's like if you and I went to high school together, I'd be like, yeah.
And so Will Eisner has this graphic novel called The Dreamer. Okay. And I was told that there's a Bob Kane character in The Dreamer that Will Eisner created as a commentary on Bob Kane. So
really,
yeah, so that's on order, like that's coming, because now we have to do that. And then on top of that, I have, I think, another 3 books of interviews with Will Eisner. Okay, so but here's there's a kink in that. like we already have a kink, because I dug up this documentary about the spirit. Okay. And the documentary has, like, the comic book, all the comic book guys showed up to talk about Will Eisner and his impact on graphic novels, and like it's a blazing piece. And it opens up with Will Eisner talking about his life, and lo and behold, in this documentary is Bob Kane with Will Eisner talking about the life of Will Eisner. So
what?
Yeah. So, but they don't talk about, like, they're not together, but Kane is selected for this documentary to talk about his early life and the early life that he had with Will Eisner. So that's going to be probably dropping this Sunday. I'm going to drop that on Sunday as my Sunday showcase.
Cool.
So,
are you going to do the little television and play the documentary in the little TV?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I hope we can do that shit. It's great. It's great. Yeah. I love that. I'm like, how does Pete do this? It's magic.
What dark forces does he have?
Yeah.
But
who's he paying off at YouTube to play all these documentaries and not get struck? What?
Yeah. Dude, you wouldn't believe the ones that took an hour to upload and I got struck. That went live and went down within like a heartbeat. And those a lot of those are heartbreaking, because it's almost like, probably 4 or 5 hours combined, like wasted just to kind of
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so frustrating.
It's kind of like what you said. You got to sometimes test stuff and throw it on YouTube,
Yeah,
right? Like, so before you make the video, like grab all your assets or whatever, throw them on YouTube, see if they're gonna get killed or cut, and see what you have left, and then delete all that shit, and don't put any effort into it if it gets struck, right?
yeah,
Like,
and that's why, like when I was telling you that before,
mm-hmm.
that's where like that's how I knew to do that, and that would work because now a lot of the Sunday ones are like they're like preloaded almost. They're preloaded, they're
Right,
private, and they've been like kind of like run through and checked. Because dude, I
right.
had the killer Mortal Kombat one. I had
Mm-hmm.
like the whole original like Mortal Kombat animation DVD. Like the first time, like when the game got hot, they did this cartoon DVD, and I fucking had it with all the special
Mm-hmm.
features, and it was like there was this making of,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
what I think at the time was Mortal Kombat 2. I later successfully did more Mortal Kombat 3 making of, but that's how
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled on that. So, but dude, like that Mortal Kombat broke my heart because I'm so into more. I don't play the game, but I love the characters and I love the lore. Like so,
Right.
yeah,
I watched one of your videos. You were drawing one of the Mortal Kombat characters or talking about, and you were talking about your friend and going to the arcade, and I
yeah,
heard the whole story, and I was like, dude, I can't believe Pete likes Mortal Kombat this much. That's pretty
yeah,
cool. Like I can respect it, I mean,
yeah. I
I'm a
just,
Street Fighter guy
I
myself, but then you talked about Street Fighter, and I was like, oh shit, fucking Pete loves everything.
yeah, no, no, no. It's always Street Fighter. Like playing Street Fighter is always number one. There is a place here in Philly called Barcade, and
Uh-huh.
you know it's a bar slash arcade, right? Like
Right.
nothing new, but they have a Street Fighter 2 Turbo Japanese edition there. And the
Oh
Japanese one,
wow.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
Japanese one is a little bit legendary because people say there's differences in that, the way how that plays.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
dude, I hate going to this place with friends because people just like going there. They'll play like pinball and whatever. And I
Yeah.
every time I go, I'm like, I just wish people would just like leave so I can play.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
just want these people to go away so I can play Street Fighter for real and not have to like explain things to people and talk about stuff. And I just fucking want to play. But when it comes
Right.
to playing, I will play Street Fighter all night. But Mortal Kombat to me has the story, like the saga
Yes, yes.
of all
Uh-huh.
of it, dude. It's like, and dude, like the way how they maintained it, and they kind of never really broke. Uh,
Well,
like near
aren't they
like they,
doing Mortal Kombat 2? Like it's coming out soon, isn't it? Like
yeah,
what's his
yeah.
name? Carl Urban's coming back or whatever, and
Johnny Cage,
he's
Carl's
Johnny
Johnny
Cage.
Cage. Yeah,
Yeah.
but dude, I like that first movie. I'm like the only person on earth that liked that first movie
Oh,
because
you're like on the pulse, bud. You're like on the pulse, man.
yeah, but
In
dude,
my opinion.
yeah, but dude, the
I,
that
I don't remember it being bad. I remember liking it too. Like I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat guy, but I remember seeing it and what's her name? Sonya, whatever, with the blonde, and I
yeah,
remember it being pretty fun. Like it was a fun movie.
yeah, the newer one, people just had issue with the way it plays with the death because they kill like substantial characters in that first movie, and
Uh-huh.
but then it's like I'm almost like I don't care because they have a character pool so deep. They can
Yeah.
kill some of their primetime players before the tournament even starts because the tournament's in the next movie. It's not even in this like the most recent one. So and I'm like, wow, that's even ballsy. Like like they're doing like a lot of
Yeah.
ballsy
Yeah.
things, and they have faith in these characters, and they brought the outer world into like reality, like when
Right.
like Sub-Zero freezes the entire street, and they
Yeah.
flipped Sub-Zero, and Scorpion. Like Scorpion's kind of the good guy in this, and Sub-Zero's the bad guy. And who the fuck
Right.
cares? Yeah, I'm
Right.
fine with that.
Hell yeah, M&B. M&B is a fan of the
Oh yeah,
Mortal Kombat.
yeah, dude. I have to do MMB's stuff, dude. I was watching some of his stuff, but
Yeah,
dude,
we need to show MMB some love. He does midnight streams on Saturday nights, I think, is what he said. Saturday
I
or
know,
Friday
and
night,
that's
and it's
dude, like
Eastern time.
that's why it's hard for me to do Don stuff because the
Oh,
Saturday stuff is like the kiss of death for me. It's
but
hard for
Dawn
me
is
to.
really early at 6, man. Like at least Central Time. It's I think 7 your time. But like that's prime time, getting ready to go out and stuff. 12 o'clock, I could see being a little more like possible because it's like middle of the night. You're back from maybe dinner and movie night or whatever, unless you're going out bar hopping or something.
Yeah, dude, it's just there's even when I'm not doing that, and dude, like I'm kind of off alcohol this year too, by the way. So I'm not even
well,
like
that could be a good thing. Yeah.
I'm not even out drinking, but then I still go out and we're kind of bar hopping, and I'm not really like, and then I'm like I get so annoyed because I'm like I don't like if I'm not drinking, I don't want to be like I can
I don't
go
want
to
to
a
be
restaurant.
here.
Yeah,
I don't
like
want to be here. I want to go home draw.
like I'd rather just do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
either
drink a lot, Pete. My days of drinking are pretty much over.
yeah,
I
are
don't
they
really
though?
drink
Yeah.
that.
Are are
Yeah. I
they?
mean, a beer or two. 4th of July and Christmas and New Year's Eve, and that's about it.
Wow,
I got some wine in the fridge, but like I don't even like. I'm not. Every once in a while, I just want the taste.
Yeah, I just like I'll tell you what I like. I like the atmosphere. Like I kind of like even like the demons and the chaos that alcohol brings. I just and dude,
It
like
is.
yeah, because we were at a friend's place last weekend, and we're like at a friend's bar because he owns the bar, and like he kind of just like he knows I'm not really drinking, but he just like like it's almost like we were there for too long not to drink, and he just gave me a fucking box. He gave me a box of Red Bull,
Right.
and
Right.
dude, like
A vodka
yeah,
Red Bull.
which is my
Man, I
drink.
love that.
Like I will drink those all night, and
Fuck
dude,
yeah.
yeah, and the look that on my face I must have given him. It was just kind of like, oh, like like here, like you're poking the bear, and
Yeah.
like I got into the zone where I just wanted like to keep going. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like we're fucking out. Let's just go, like to the break of dawn. Like no, like,
To the break of dawn,
yeah.
What is it? Party X party. What was it
Project
called?
X.
Project X. Oh man, that's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, to the
It's
break
not
of
like
dawn.
my favorite movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but
I
no,
love that Jewish kid, man. He's the fucking
oh,
best.
dude, dude, like when he makes fun of the fat kid in that is so like when like there's
Yeah.
there's a the part where they walk up to the pool and there's like there's like a whale floaty and he goes, your mom's in the pool.
Oh man, yeah, like that freaking sign, nude diving
Yeah,
only or whatever. Fuck yeah, man, that guy was. I
which
love
is
that kid.
also based on a true story too.
Yeah, the Australian kid. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's like the
Fucking burned down his whole neighborhood and shit.
yeah, dude, like I love it, dude. Like fucking the party of the
Yeah.
century.
Yeah.
Bring
To
me
have
back.
experienced that or been part of that would have been freaking awesome.
But that's a great movie though, dude. I love that.
Project X is like the culmination of all the 80s movies that were John Hughes movies, like all culminating into that one big final send-off of like the full debauchery of teenage high school angst, right? Like,
yeah,
because they did it all in that movie. Like it was nothing was sacred.
no, dude. But the funny thing is though too, that's a complete movie as of being able to follow the consequences, because when the guy's torching the neighborhood at the end, right? Like the guy that they stole the pills from, like
Right.
he's pissed about the pills, so you know why he's there. The dad telling the kid that he's proud of him comes that comes full circle because he overhears the parents in the beginning talking about that the kid doesn't have any balls. Right? Like it's all these like moments that happen in like the last like 20 minutes of that movie that were all set up like earlier, dude. You know?
Right. I say there was nothing sacred about that movie, but there was like 3 things that were sacred in that movie. And it was the love story between him and the girl.
Yeah.
The dad's encouragement that you acknowledged at the end there, that he's proud of him, even though he was like, he fucked up the whole neighborhood. Like that was fucking badass, right? And then like their friendship, all the boys, right? Those were kind of the 3 sacred things in that, you know?
Yeah, dude. I even I love the fucking the fat kid where he's running on the treadmill, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I might get laid tonight." He's like on the treadmill,
like it's in an hour, you idiot.
Yeah, but it's almost like so innocent because like you thought like that when you were younger. You thought like
yes, absolutely.
Like let me do a couple push-ups. Like let me do a couple push-ups.
Shit, yeah. Oh man, that MMB, that sucks that you're allergic to beer. That sucks, bro.
Oh wait, really?
That's what he said.
Hildair never got into fighting games. Yeah, see, look,
you need to add Red Bull to your drinks, and that'll stop happening.
Yeah. But dude, I am there's have you ever seen that there's a Vince McMahon meme where he's like crying and the whole meme is like the background he's at a funeral, and the meme is like this is going to be my friends at my funeral when they talk about how much of a day drinker I was and never got drunk. And people send that meme to me like all the time because we would meet up for brunch here in Philly, and not like we would start Saturday and end like Sunday morning, and wake up the next day and I would be the one that would like wake up and make breakfast and get people going on Sunday because I don't get hungover, like I really don't, and it takes a lot for me to get like wasted, and
sideways wasted.
Yeah.
I love it.
And my friends, my family, like they'll tell you they really kind of they always everyone has a theory of when they might have seen me drunk. Like it's always like everyone has like a different time, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I was built for it, but now I'm here drawing comics. So fuck my life.
Yeah. Well, so I right after I got divorced, man. Well, even before I was married, and I can drink with the best of them. I can hang, I have a good time. But after I got divorced, though, I did do a little bit of a like bar hopping and drinking and clubbing kind of thing with one of my cousins, and man, we had so much fun. Me and my cousin, so where I live, there's a downtown area, right, and everybody goes out there and cruises and goes bars hopping and all that bullshit. And man, he and I would go out there, and man, we would have a blast, man. We did that for like maybe like a year and a half, every other weekend or so. But man, we would just be up all night till Sunday morning, like you're saying, out till they close the bars at 2, right? So every once in a while we'd find some after party thing to do or whatever. But man, even when we came home at 2, 3 in the morning, and we just have so much fun, man, trying to hit on chicks and pick up chicks, and it was so dumb and stupid. But man, me and him together just would have a blast laughing our asses off. It was fun.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about like going out to get drunk and wasted. It was about just going out to have fun and being around people.
Yeah, that's always the goal, and like I used to meet up with a couple of tailgating groups on Sunday for the birds. And eventually I backed away from doing any of that when I realized that there's just way too many people that are just there to drink. And they're not really, and I'm not saying you have to be like an expert on the game, but if it's
Right.
a like a 4 o'clock game and you're in the parking lot at 6 a.m. We can say we're not here for football. Like we're
Right. Well, I mean, if you're making breakfast and getting breakfast ready for everybody, I can see you being there at 6 a.m. But if you're sitting down drinking something that's
Yeah.
alcoholic at 6 a.m., yeah, you're probably on the wrong path.
Dude,
For the game, anyways.
these guys, they I'll see them post at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and at the link, the link, it's Lincoln Financial Field. They organize the people showing up for the tailgates like an hour early. So you have to get there like an hour early before they open the gates, and they kind of like organize a little bit of like the flow of the traffic, because there's like different gates within gates to get into some of those areas, and they'll post like you will see the sun will be like the sky will be bright pink, and they're like getting ready for game day, and it's just like wow. And I'm not saying I haven't had good times like hanging out with those guys and doing stuff,
Right.
but it's like there is something to where like if it involves alcohol, most likely there's people, and that's kind of what you want to tap into. And then there's like
Right.
people, and then there's like this other group where they're like, well, if it involves alcohol, it involves alcohol. And
Yeah. Those
the
those
world
people have
sucks. Like these people maybe have
problems,
a couple
issues.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. How near 12%? Damn, that sounds like a lot.
The 12%. Yeah. I'll still
I was gonna say, when you go out drinking or you're socializing, right, and drinking, the people you're around with matter to me, at least. They matter a lot, and if they're good, fun people, then it's gonna be a good fun time. But if and I've been the downer guy too before, right? So I get it. Sometimes you're just not in the mood, or you're in a funk or something. Um, which really sucks because I hate being the downer guy. I hate being the downer guy. So I rather just stay at home, right? But if you're around the right people and you click and everybody's kind of in a happy mood, it's gonna be a great time. Like it's gonna be so much fun,
Yeah, and I've done like so much with it. I mean, even back during like I guess like the birth of the MCU. So you would get this like overlap. You would get like MCU movies and Transformer movies for like a couple years. And
yeah.
yeah, and we would tailgate. We would we tailgated the Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen. We tailgated Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, The Avengers. And we would just show up in Jersey parking lots because Jersey has like mecha theaters. And some of these parking lots are like so vast that they don't care. Like cops will drive by as long as you're not like doing anything stupid. Like they'll just like keep driving. And most movie theaters though would have like a cop or two like right there, like either way.
Yeah, there's security.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Theater
and
security.
but dude, like we would do that and then go into like movies and be just loud and like the worst film goers imaginable.
Yeah.
Like just all around, like literally tailgating for movies as if it was like a sports game.
And could you drink can you drink in your all's theaters?
No, you guys sneak it in. You guys, now
because
have alcohol. A lot of them have like full bars in them, but back then we had to.
Of course, they're twice the price, right? But at least you can drink.
You
half a beer, or
you will spend.
Or what's that drink with the orange slice in it? It's what's it called?
maybe what, like a, well, there's like an orange. Well, there's an orange. Oh, you mean like shock top, like the wheat beer shock top.
No. It's like a whiskey with a twist of lime, an orange slice. It's called like a Sunday or something like that, or a
Oh, I don't know. That's a,
Tuesday. Hey, I'm gonna take a little bathroom break real quick, and I'll be back in a
yeah.
bit. And then when I come back, have me remind you, because we were talking about Street Fighter and the Japanese version, and I'll
Oh
tell
yeah,
you
yeah.
about the Japanese Street Fighter I picked up and played
Oh,
on
cool.
my Super Nintendo by modding it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Let me,
Okay, I'll be
yeah.
back.
Let's hear that. And we'll catch up with the chat. Yeah, usually the designated driver. Metal. That's so responsible of you. But do we need designated drivers anymore in the age of Uber? That's the real question. Do we even require the designated driver? Sorry, and we are just, I'm trying to get this navel drop here because she's got this. This is a very revealing marble design for its time. And I'm drawing this one too with far less detail than normal, but I kind of like it because I just, we're doing this to soak up the markers. So having things, be limited detail, but I can always go back and add it too. So yeah, I would tailgate Marvel movies. Yeah, dude, I'll tell you the one that really was a bust was GI Joe: The Rise of Cobra, and that was one that we it was just like let's just do it, and I would do these like Facebook events, and we would just get people from like from all over, because like it was kind of like the way how I got people to show up. I would just like get enough alcohol, like alcohol is cheap, so we would just have coolers, and people would just like show up and get essentially get free drinks. Uh, but we did that for Rise of Cobra, and oh my god, dude, like that was such a bust. It's like no one really showed up, no one really cared, and you kind of feel a little bit defeated. Even though like I was pumped for that movie. First live action Snake Eyes, like let's go. With all the potential, if it was good and a success, and the director Steven Sommers, that I am a big fan of. He's the guy that did the Mummy movies. He did a great movie called Odd Thomas, and Rudy Kipling's Jungle Book, which was Disney's first live action remake, and they remade that twice, right? Because John Favreau did his, and that's a good version too. Both live action Jungle Books are solid. Rad's in the house. Yeah, yeah, dude. Like the Thomas Jane though, people like, dude. Like we were. I did an episode on the Daredevil, dude. Like we were. That was such an exciting time because you wanted every single one of these movies. Like you wanted Daredevil, Punisher, the first X-Men to be like perfect and comic book accurate. Like no cap. Yeah, dude. Like just uber. Dude, I don't care. I spend money on Uber. Like I spend money with Uber, on Uber, just through the course of even of my work week. Like I make that investment. I think it's valuable, and I think it's safe, and it saves time. Like, like all those things. So now the question is, right? Like, I guess like her hair. I might as well just make her hair like as dark of green as possible. Red. Yeah, I know it is sad that dude. If you watch, if you watch Odd Thomas, the ending of that movie, you're not. I don't think you're much of a person if the ending of that movie doesn't get you, because it's a little bit of a gotcha like ending, uh, but it is so heartfelt, and like you kind of like you question things sometimes, like you watch that movie, and then you go into like the reviews of the time, and you're almost just like, wow, like like how did no one care about this? How did, and I feel like I go through that a lot when I do a deep dive into films. The worst thing is watching a movie and then reading the reviews and like kind of like your head explodes. And I think that's where we are. I think just as a dare I say a culture, I think the culture is rewards people that approach movies negatively. Yeah, all those movies are great. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. We got some green here. We're gonna break out the greens. Yeah, Deep Rising is good. Yeah, Deep Rising with Trent Williams. That's a movie. Good creature design too for that. For like for anyone keeping track. Give me 1 second, guys. We need to. This one is loose, by the way. So I got to figure out some of this as I'm talking. But I wanted her to have like just heavy metal wild hair. But also like have the hair be, a little bit of a shape. And guys, I think we're exhausting. Another marker. So I'm going to give both of them like the same like like pinpoint highlight for the pupil. So which is why like both of their eyes are like dark. Try it's tough sometimes, but I always recommend to get good with visualizing the piece as you like kind of like as you're sketching it, as you're drawing it, as you're inking it, just through the different stages. being able to do that, it's a benefit. It's a benefit to you and the work. Hold up here.
Back.
Yo.
Man,
Thanks for
the chat's going off. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
What's up?
all the movies are good backup.
Yeah, those were good films, man. I remember most of those. Yeah.
Yeah, the pre-phase Marvel movies, dude. They were just Marvel movies. Like isn't that wild? Just to think of, like, they were just superhero movies, and they weren't this like big other big thing that had to connect and have end credit sequences. Like, they were just effing superhero movies,
Right.
and
And you wanted them to succeed if you were a comic book fan, because that would mean more.
yeah, you were at one time you were just like, part of the euphoria of that first Iron Man was that it was a good movie, because like there was a little bit of a run of like again, like, superhero movies not quite, because you had like Spider-Man 3 and a lot of these other movies that were kind of like surrounding it. Like you were like, oh my god, like we just need like a good superhero flick. And that movie came along at the right time. And
what's up, K-pop?
Oh, K-pop.
Sorry, just acknowledging.
Oh yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah.
Calling us a bunch of nerds. She's a big nerd too. She loves boobs too. It's awesome.
Okay, well, cool. That's just that's just the that's what we do.
It's something
here.
we have in common. Yeah, it's something we have in common.
and sometimes we draw them. We draw the boobalas.
Oh shoot! So a little quick side story. Getting back to Street Fighter real quick.
Oh yeah. Let's hear that. Yeah.
So when I was a kid, my parents used to own a convenience store, right? And we had a little podunk convenience store out in the middle of nowhere, kind of thing. It was out in the sticks, right? And since we were kind of like the more affluent people in the little subdivision, little neighborhood, whatever kind of thing, because we were still out in the sticks. Like the center of town was, it's still the center of town, but it was like it would take like 10 minutes to get to it, right? And you'd have to go through the back streets and till you hit the main street and kind of thing. And it was small back then, back in the day. This was mid 90s or so, right? And the Nintendo came out, and when that came out, me and my little brother and even my sister a little bit, because she played video games with us too. We had like maybe 30 Nintendo games. Maybe at one point I think we had like 60. And since we own a convenience store, I would take the games, and all the neighborhood kids would always want to borrow the games, right? Like they finally would, like a year later, they started getting Nintendos themselves for Christmas and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, the Garcia neighbor, he's got a bunch of Nintendo games. Maybe he'll lend us some, right? So we the neighborhood kids that were like friends, I'd lend them the games, right? And then after a while, I was like, we have a convenience store. Let me set up a shop inside the convenience store and start renting these video games, right? And then I started renting movies too on VHS, recorded movies, because we would rent them from the bigger video store. Every Friday, my dad would come from like the bigger city, right, which was half an hour away because he would drive to work, and he would bring home movies, right, and I would record them on VHS, black VHS tapes.
Dude,
and I started renting out video games and VHS tapes in the convenience store, and it would be like $3 for 2 days, or like rent it today, bring it back tomorrow, $3, and for the video games too, right? And if they kept them another day or whatever, I charged another $3, and it was cheap. $3 wasn't a lot, but it was a lot, but not a lot, right? And we would use that money to buy more video games and rent more movies. So it was awesome. And so the we got word that the Super Nintendo was going to come out, right?
Yeah.
And so the Super Nintendo comes out. I don't know how we managed to buy it right when it came out. My mom like pre-ordered it or did some layaway crap at Walmart to get one of the first ones, right? And I think we helped pay for half of it with the rental money from the video games. So she was all for it, right? And so we get it, right? And then we hear Street Fighter is going to come to the Super Nintendo. And we're like, holy shit, right? And me and my brother were all into like the Nintendo Power and all that. And
Yeah.
somehow we got some kind of Japanese version Nintendo Power book or something that was semi-translated, and they said that that Street Fighter was going to first come out to the Famicom, which is the Japanese version
Yeah.
of the Super Nintendo, right? And we found some through that magazine, we found an ad that was in California, and they said they were going to import the Street Fighter game from Japan because it wasn't going to come out in America for like another 2 years,
Yeah. I
right?
remember waiting for. Yeah, I remember waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were like, holy cow. So we called that place up and they're like, yeah, we could order it for you or whatever. We'll ship it out to you. So we placed the order and it takes like a month to get it, right? It had just come out in Japan. It took like a month to get. We finally get it, right? And we try to put it into the NES, right? And we're like, holy crap, it won't go in, right? And so I started looking at the back of the NES cartridges and look at the Famicom cartridges, and there's two little slits on the back, and those little slits are so you won't be able to play the Japanese games in your
Right.
American console, right? Because the slits don't line up. So what you have to do is on the inside of your American NES is clip the little tabs off, and then you can put the game in. So I don't know how I did it, but I had some pliers and I clipped those things off, popped the game in, and we were playing that shit straight for like a whole week, man. It was
Wow.
awesome. Yeah, and we had it like a whole year before anybody else had it. Out
Yeah.
the sticks and shit, and the
You're.
neighbors would come over. Hey, can we play Street Fighter with you? And like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because we need to kick their ass, right? Because they didn't know how to play. It was
Oh,
awesome.
there was like a time where you would hear things like that there were like secret moves in Street Fighter. And
Yeah,
you would be like, well, what does that like even mean? Like what do you mean like secret moves? And then like you would see kind of people like pull them off, and you could see things during like the demo mode. You could see like the
yeah,
shurikens, but you didn't know like you thought just the things you saw in the demo mode were like all the moves, and like like you didn't know that maybe Guile had like a Sonic kick or like whatever, and you would kind of have to. I remember I would write things down from the magazines, and then like
hmm
go to the arcade with with paper, and I would have it up on the arcade so I could
yes,
like do the
yes. I
move.
remember people doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I was one of those, and like, and then like getting annoyed when people would come in and like they would like put in a quarter, and you just wanted to practice moves. Like, and you're
yeah,
just be like, oh, like, god damn it, like I'm trying to do the Hurricane Rada, or like I'm trying to do Blanca's his Thunderball, or his fucking but like
yeah.
I still like, dude, same thing too with Mortal Kombat and the fatalities, where people
Yes,
for like you can rip out his spine and you'll be like, what? And then like
yeah,
someone would
yeah.
do it and you would just be like, ah!
Yeah.
Like
Like, I
mind
hate
blown,
you. How did you do that? Tell me. What's the secret?
dude. And but I never got into playing Mortal Kombat because I love how more of a flow fighting system like Street Fighter is, where like moves kind of connect. And Mortal Kombat's always like, if you can memorize the combos, you could juggle like very quickly and easily. Um, but in
Oh,
Street Fighter, like I fucking dude, I had a friend in Street Fighter, and I'm talking like the Championship Edition before Turbo. Dude, he could get off Zangief's like spinning pile driver, and he would grab
oh,
you like once or twice, and you were done.
You'd be
And
dead. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
There was a big, huge power flaw in that one particular version of Street Fighter with Zangief. Yeah, like
yeah,
you had to make sure like he could not grab you. Yeah,
yeah. And
because
then
if he grabbed you once, you were totally screwed.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
what they did was, I think for Turbo, they for Turbo Championship Edition new challengers, they so it would take like maybe like 3 pile drivers to drain you, but they
hmm,
added like a charge to him where he could
yeah,
run past like a fireball, he could run past like an offensive move and still grab you. And
yeah. Hmm.
that's where like when you would like play the different versions as they came out, you were almost like relearning the game like every single time. And dude, that was so much fun. Like just like talking about it right now, dude. Like we were so into it,
Yeah,
like hardcore.
yeah. Yeah.
Hard-
Killer Instincts was awesome. Yes,
oh yeah,
the boob
yeah,
the boob technology was amazing. The
yeah,
boob physics.
yeah. Here we go.
Uh, oh,
Dude,
give me one second. I'll be right back.
K-pop. Yeah, I'm catching up on here. There you go. We got connections happening. Yeah, dude, the fireballs are like, and I didn't know till later that when you drain someone's energy with fireballs, it's called chipping, and chipping is frowned upon. Like you're a cheap player if you chip, but I don't know. Like sometimes that's all you like can do. Sometimes though.
Hey, I chipped the shit out of anybody at the last like their last little bit of life. If you needed like 2 hits of the fireball block,
Yeah.
hell, I was doing it. I was doing it. Oh
Dude,
man.
my one friend, he's now like he's a MMA GM. He's like a GM for this mixed martial arts league. I grew up playing with him, and he with Ken, like he figured out like with Ken you can like if you have your opponent here, right? Like he
Hmm.
found a way he would jump and then do like a medium kick and like turn you around and then be able to like throw you or do like the dragon punch. And it was
Hmm.
like I know there's people that talked about it on like YouTube, but it was like a
Yes.
little bit of a glitch to how you turn the player around by using Ken.
Yeah.
And dude,
Yeah.
he like it was almost
Mastered
like that's
that.
how his like brain worked. He was able to like get it off like every single time. And dude,
Yeah.
I would watch him piss people off. People would get so like literally, like he would play against like grown men, and they would just like yell at
Yeah.
him. Like
Yeah.
the wildest stuff as like a kid. You're just like, oh my god, like it's just a quarter. Like relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the man, there was one time. So we used to have a local arcade right at the really close mall. It was 15 minutes away or whatever. And I remember people fighting after,
Yeah.
fighting in Street Fighter, like actual physical fights, because some guy beat him and they thought they got cheated because he was a better player or whatever. And the other guy thought he was a good player too. And oh man, it was crazy. Like
Dude.
cops would be called and it was
No,
nuts.
yeah, nothing but fun though, dude. Like I think
But
like the
yeah,
late
you're right.
oh yeah.
It's just a quarter, man.
Yeah,
Chill
it's just
out.
like but it's like looking back though, like you kind of want to say like some of the frustration would be people not knowing how to play the game sometimes or not knowing like what to
Yeah.
expect because it was so new. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
like you kind of have to see that side too. But the last like combat like fire versus fire game like one that I really got into was Tekken Tag, and at the time I was working at this design studio in Jersey, and me and this kid would drive to the local mall, which was like right down the street, and play Tekken Tag. And we did that for like a year straight. And we used all of our lunch breaks to go play Tekken Tag. and we both got like really good. But Tekken Tag that was another one where you could get really cheap if you just figured out like what what every combination of players could do with each other, because you can tag
Mhm.
people back and forth and just do like quick strikes. That was
Yeah.
fun though. Tekken's great though. Tekken is a great game.
Those games that you tag the players. Oh man, those ones frustrated me. Like the Street Fighter Marvel,
Yeah,
Capcom one. Oh man, the people who could like swap characters really well. I
yeah,
hated all those people because it took me forever to finally figure out how to, work all that, because it was just like,
and that's
yeah, it's a whole
and
nother level.
like I played against some of those guys that they don't even need to do that, because like that's like the screen for Marvel versus Capcom is like this. It's like three screens up, and these guys
Yeah.
would like I played against guys that could launch you, and they juggle you up and they juggle
Oh
you
yeah.
down, and by the
Uh
time
huh. Uh huh.
you hit the ground, you're down to like two guys, and you're
Right.
just like
The
mother
combo
like
sets were super high. Yeah.
and they know like the button count. Some of it's like I think it's like how people's like how the brain works. Like they found a game that works with their brain like perfectly.
Yeah.
Because I've spent my time practicing those games, and I never got as good as some of those guys. Like not even close.
Hey Pete, so I'm looking up Gamora because I'm gonna draw Gamora too,
Yeah.
since you're
Oh,
drawing
okay.
her. So she's got the little costume that you have, and then there's another version where she's got the bands over her boobies and a cloak. Which is the
Oh,
first
the cloak
costume?
one. Yeah. Geez,
Is the very first one the one that you're drawing? That's the very first
maybe.
one, right?
Yeah, I just got the first like older looking one that came up on my search, but yeah, I kind of she that cloak one might be the first version.
Hmm. Yeah, they all look newer than the original than the one you're drawing. So I'm gonna go with the one you're drawing.
So
Yeah, she looks good though.
you,
God damn.
you go from this to the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Yeah.
and the things we give up for the movies.
For the boobies.
Yeah, it's like come on, dude. Like let's see a
Oh,
little.
I can't imagine. Well, okay. I was gonna say I can't imagine any movie star wearing that particular outfit, but then there's Scarlett Joe and Ghost, the Ghost in the Shell, and those costumes looked awesome. Even though she wasn't Asian or whatever, I don't care about
Yeah, I
any of
don't
that.
care. Yeah, that's
It-
dude. I think that's another movie that's on my people never paid attention to it and should have paid attention to list, because
I
I
loved
think
it.
that
I
movie
loved it.
and Battle Angel, Alita, both of those
Hmm.
movies, in my view, they are like again like really fun science fiction movies. Like I don't know, and I
Yeah.
thought Battle Angel had like a perfect ending. The ending for that movie too, very awesome, like really good
Oh,
stuff.
it's set up and it ended at a good point, and it's so set up for a part two, but it could end there too. Like
Yeah,
it was
well,
good.
yeah, because like when she looks up at that rope, like that goes to
Hmm.
the to the Capitol, like you say
Right.
to yourself, like, oh, I like run that, like you want her to run up, like you want that moment, and then it cuts to the credits, and you're like, oh,
Hmm.
like dude, and
Yep.
I think any movie that gets that reaction out of you it's a good movie, because like you're
Yeah.
emotionally like invested that deep into that freaking movie. But
Right. It
um
leaves you wanting more. Those are the best movies. The ones that leave you wanting a little more.
dude, and I love all of the slow-mo stuff in Ghost in the Shell. Like all those cool like slow-mo shots where
Hmm.
like, the glass is breaking, and dude, I can just
Yeah.
stare at that stuff all day. So I don't know. I think people are crazy when it comes to movies anymore.
Yeah.
I think people are unknown 88. Let's see what. Yeah, Shang Tsung. Dude, yeah, Shang. And then, like, yeah, you get people that play Shang Tsung that know every single combination of every single character, and they just like switch into Scorpion, kick your butt, switch into Jax, kick
Yeah.
kick
Yeah.
your ass, and you're like,
Yeah.
how can you like 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 you kick my ass with too many different characters, and
Oh, and
I
wasn't there one version where you could pick 3 characters?
I think so.
One of
That
the
might be
turbos.
that might be pick 3. You mean for MK like
I think so, or
for
Street Fighter.
tag?
One of the Street Fighter Capcom.
Street Fighter Capcom had, I think, a tag capability. Right, yeah. Street Fighter Capcom, you can pick up to 3 guys. And then you had Tekken
Because
Tag.
first it was 2, and then there was 3, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah, the other ones are not like the Marvel Capcom 2. That's the one you want. The other ones are like slower, and like there was something that they figured out by the time they got to number 2. But no, some of the fights for 2 can take up the whole time limit. Like if you really have like skilled players, like the clock drains with that one.
Oh yeah, and there was that one version that moved really fast, where they could speed it up on the inside, like of the arcade. They could put it in fast mode or slow mode or whatever. That was so annoying too.
Dude, it's tough, dude. Like it's like you had to show up during those times, and you had to be able to play like a little bit, because like people would make you play. Like you could just be like, oh, I'm here, my friend's here, and then eventually it would be like you have to play. And then that's where like you had the people who they would have Street Fighter at home and practice, and then hit the joystick in the arcade and not be able to do their moves and get all again like get all pissed off and stuff.
Yeah.
Here we go. This one's like very loose here. I mean, I'm gonna have to like go back and do some additional line work. Yeah, King of Fighters is one of the ones that I always heard about it and never just never went all in. What was it? There was a Neo Geo one with samurais that I used to play too at the arcade, and that I don't even know the name of that one. I remember liking that one a ton. It might have been called Bushido Blade. Or Bushido Blade. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Oh, Eternal Warriors. Gee, rad. That's a deep cut. This is a deep cut, guys. Oh, nice. I'm not, dude. I would read that. I would read the prequel novel for Battle.
Well, I mean, isn't there the whole comic series, the manga? I mean, for that.
Yeah, but isn't it like, isn't the manga like, isn't it almost like, is it one? It's not one volume, right? I think it's multiple.
Yeah, I don't.
This is the problem with manga, dude. Like how it's almost like, hey, I'm going to get into that. Now I have to read 30 volumes. Like, like
yeah,
like that's
I mean, it's better than American comics where I have to read 60 years worth of floppies that aren't volumes.
Well, my retort to that is, with American comics, though, like you can read the Dark Phoenix saga and you can kind of be done with it. Where with manga, though, like for example, like if you wanted to read Fist of the North Star, like there's almost like
shit.
There's no cutoff to that. That's like 20 volumes.
Right.
And I think and I think that's a little bit of the disconnect of why people don't get more into it. Dude, like it would be great if everyone adopted manga that means like everyone would just have to create manga books, right? Like we would know what to do.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it would
yeah.
make
That makes sense.
like
Yeah.
everything easier. But they don't.
Mhm.
So people don't, you know.
Right.
Yeah, like like people,
Absolutely. It makes sense. Yeah.
but people I think people like American comics also. They like the format. Because like there's stories within American comics that are like one and done. Like you have like single issue storylines and stuff like that. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this is I need like for this, I need like a lighter like neutral. I need like maybe I can use the like the twisty. Maybe I'll use my trusty Crayola. I need like a lighter green. And I'm not even sure if this helps. Maybe I'll just get a colored pencil.
Man,
Yeah,
as simple as this costume looks for this original Gamora, it's a pain in the ass. There's so much little things on it.
yeah. I kind of wish I took a little bit more time with mine because I was thinking about that because like you kind of if she has the netting, you kind of want to say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I should like design her pose to get a effect from the netting. Like kind of just have her be a little bit more dynamic and have that webbing like work for you.
Yeah.
This is how grown men play with Crayola. Wait until we get we should all petition Crayola to sponsor this live stream.
Yeah, that would be
Crayola
great.
Cast.
Yeah. That would be awesome, Pete. Be awesome.
Yeah, right. I don't know what I would do. They would probably be like, "Well, you can't draw boobies with our products if we're sponsoring you.
Yeah.
Like everything needs to be very vanilla and plastic."
Yeah. Forget your Marvel comics there.
Yeah, Crayola doesn't approve of like a character holding a gun or like a sword.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have to work with a 20-year-old like social media manager too. For that.
Oh, it sucks that you didn't use a little bit of yellow. I wish you could have used a little yellow for her eyes there.
Yeah, I drew that in right here, if you can see.
Yeah.
I first drew it in, and then I was like, fuck, like, because I think the shots of yellow here would work, just with her pose and stuff, and like the hilt of the sword of having like a gold pop. But this is why we give ourselves, like we give ourselves a box, and we
limitations.
Yeah, and we kind of see, we see what happens from it. Because here too, like I think I want, like we got to do some like space objects here. We got to do all of the stereotypical comic book floating planets around the character imagery here.
With a little Kirby crackle, baby.
Yeah, get that crackle.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that, and then we'll do like stars. We'll do like part of it too is like getting the like the color variations so things look like faded or blended.
Right. Man, I drew a real sinister looking. Damn. It's gonna look mean as flip.
Angry bitch.
Yeah. Well, she was a pretty evil character in the beginning.
Yeah, she like she's almost like another one where you're like, I wish she kind of stayed a villain. I wish she was kind of, like really just because good villains are such a tough thing, and people like the villains, and then it's always like, oh, we'll make people like the villain. We'll make him a good guy, so more people like the villain, and it's like
Yeah.
it's it's like it's not the villain anymore. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Venom with Lethal Protector.
Yeah.
And people kind of glaze that. They act like, but no one liked that when that came out.
What did you watch the last Venom movie? I recently just watched it barely.
Dude,
And I liked it. It was entertaining, but it didn't feel like a Spider-Man Venom at all.
No, it's their Venom is it's almost like it's another 48 hours. It's almost like that third movie is like a buddy it's a buddy cop road movie. And like they're just kind of, but I do like how like zany the two of them are. Like when they kind of have their like arguments, and they're almost like the odd couple.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like Venom, and he's like biting off people's heads, and and then like that weird family that they become friends with that show up at the end.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, like we got a lot of things happening, but like over here.
It's a buddy cop family movie. It's just it's kind of all over the place, huh?
Yeah. But I will like, you have to kind of take the position that like they found a way to make that character more like open, because he like Eddie Brock
likable.
he was never that much of a character in the comics.
And he was never likable because he was always a bully, a prick to Peter Parker. Yeah.
And like they later they made him like a war vet, and they just do like, again, like it's not like Marvel Comics kept that character true all the way through. Like they've done their experiments with Eddie Brock and had various results. So like, but that's that's the same reason why I like the Craven so much, because I feel like they made Craven into like a cool guy.
They did, yeah. He was likable. I just watched that recently too, and I was just like,
dude, he's like,
well,
I don't know, dude. He's ripping out people's throats, right?
Yeah,
dude, like they made Craven metal, like Craven's metal in that movie. And he was never that cool in the comics. Never.
Yeah.
Like he was so cool in the comics, they freaking made him kill himself.
Yeah.
Like they got rid of him.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you have to be fair when you walk into those movies, because they are taking characters that like they don't have much of a future. Like the characters never resonated. They don't have much of a base. I always measure with some of the Spider-Man stuff. I measure it against that 90s cartoon series, because what did people like? What episodes did people care about back then? They cared about the Venom, the Carnage stuff. Like no one was like, oh, this is the first time Craven's animated, or this is the first time like Morbius is animated. You wanted the Punisher episodes, you wanted Venom episodes, and Carnage episodes. And people are like, oh, Craven's not true to the comic. It's like, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
'Cause the comic is a
They
little.
they made him pretty badass. Like he actually he was a good guy. Like he was like the Punisher, but like on steroids, and
Yeah,
like from the Spider-Man universe.
and like I'm
As great
kind
as
of,
that is.
yeah, I'm very open-minded and forgiving with those movies. Like I don't play the high horse where it needs to be just like the comic or like some of that, because number one, it's a movie, is a movie that you can sit down and enjoy. Like kind of you go into the intent, like what's the, like, like what are we really trying to achieve with the film,
Yeah.
and like, and I again, like
Sadly, I would say that all Sony is trying to achieve is keeping the copyright away from Marvel.
yeah,
I mean, that's all they're trying to achieve. They don't even care if the movie makes money at this point. It's just like, well, as
but
long as we put a new film that's Spider-Man related, it won't regress back to Marvel.
yeah,
So they'll have
and
to keep paying us a shitload of money for Spider-Man.
and I don't agree with the notion when people say, "Oh, like Marvel should have it," because I don't know, like Marvel has literally the rest of the Marvel universe, and they're not doing much with it now anyway. So what does it matter if Marvel has the Spider Verse?
Spider-Man,
Like,
right?
like,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
like things are not magically just going to be better because of that. Because Marvel's had X-Men for how long, and they've done nothing with X-Men.
Right.
Like, how many years is it now? Is it like 6 years, 7 years? Like, it's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
somewhere there.
It's a big
Yeah.
number. And you're like, wow, like we didn't even get like anything of X-Men. I mean, I get it,
Right.
you had Deadpool Wolverine, but like I don't know if people even consider that X-Men. I don't know.
Yeah, they considered X-Men. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I don't. Deadpool Wolverine, the greatest movie of all time.
Is it? Is that what you think?
Nah, not really. Nah,
It's like
nah.
it was a good fun movie. I
Uh,
wouldn't say it's the greatest one, but it's pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
yeah, but I think I've seen it twice, and I think I'm good with that. I like that first one. Like that first Deadpool is, like that's the character. Like that's the guy you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's our Deadpool.
That Rob Liefeld laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, yeah. That son of a bitch.
Oh man.
Yeah, Mr. Liefeld, the greatest living American comic book illustrator, and nice guy.
Is he?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. No, I think. Yeah, we did the You were there when what's his name was asking me what's my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Like Mark Bagley, like has got to be there. John Romita Jr. for like modern day. Jr. Liefeld would be more like Impact though. Like you would have to put Liefeld on the list of guys that impacted comics. It doesn't mean that everything they did was great, but Liefeld does have a lasting mark. So,
dude, he created the Terminator. I mean, Cable.
Yeah, yeah. Got him,
man. Yeah. Hey, he did he create Shatterstar? Is Shatterstar in his wheelhouse?
So
Shatterstar was pretty badass.
So part of the Shatterstar deconstruction is so people now like they attack him like as they can on social because and you can date it as much as you want, but I did a video years ago revealing that Rob Liefeld's inspiration for Shatterstar was a Japanese manga called White Devil.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah. So, but dude, like people repeat that now to them, and they kind of like they I don't think they know just the source of that. But people, they constantly. I have all these screenshots on my phone of people calling him out about that throughout the years, and like I don't know if that's like where his block of mine like came from.
Oh shit, that's
Like it could
probably
have
it,
come from
Pete.
that, but I know around the time too, I did a video of Major X and how how like like clear because Major X had similar shots of one of the like the Young Blood comics, and I think I was able to like line up similar shots, and the thesis was he clearly drew better 10 years ago or 20 years ago than he does now. And I think maybe like that video too got him like pissed.
Well,
But
he stole a bunch of shots from John Byrne, like all
Yeah.
that first X-Force issue #1. Like half
Yeah.
of that shit is a total ripoff of like John Byrne and what's his name?
George Perez,
George
New Teen
Perez.
Titans is that
Yes,
opening
yes.
splash page, or spread
2-page
page. Yeah.
splash page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like, but also like to be fair, like I don't knock when people do that. Like I think
Right,
that's
right.
I think that's a little bit of like working in comics and comics in general, where you kind of copy, like you have things.
It's an homage, right?
Yeah, it's like I think it's more just like the practice of getting things done, and I think they're fine with just like if you have a pose, if you have a solution in front of your face, and like take it, because who's going to stop you, right? Like who's going to stop you? And then it goes through like editorial, so like you put it on editorial, like is the editor going to reject the page? Like probably not. So it's but I think it's like even going to like some of the Bob Kane stuff, people like again like they attack him for using Hal Foster, and it's just like what, dude, like he's just trying to get things done, and there's like Hal Foster probably like like everyone kind of like copies, like, or not even copies, traces. Like people trace, like that's American comics.
Yeah. I'm
but,
tracing right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. Yeah, give me my light box.
I'm tracing David. This is David Finch right here all day long.
I know you love David Finch, which is absolutely fair because Finch he's great.
Well, I mean, I love Finch. But like I don't know, my favorite guys are the '90s guys. I mean, it's and he's a product of them. It's Silvestri, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Rob Wills. It's all those guys. Even Jim Valentino, and Eric Larson.
Valentino, he's a comic book like creator, like comic book minded person.
Yeah.
Like he's just like he's a straight up comic book guy.
Yeah. Well, what is it? We wouldn't have him in comics if it wasn't for Jim Valentino, right? That's what they say.
Image? I don't know. Like maybe like I know like he was like Liefeld got him into Image because I know McFarlane didn't want him in, and Liefeld was like, "Hey, this is like what we like stand for," because I think they McFarlane didn't like his style. He didn't think he was good.
Right.
But it doesn't matter because Guardians was one of Marvel's like that was a consistent selling book. So
right.
And maybe some of it was.
It was right. It was at the bottom of the list with those guys of 7. It was there was a 7th book consistently.
So but it's just Valentino, like he came up with a character that it still resonates like right now. People love Shadowhawk. Like that's a character you can bring back at any time, and Shadowhawk will sell.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Tank, we got Tank in his house. What's up,
What
Tank?
up, Tank?
Yeah, what
Good
section
morning.
is this? I don't know.
Holy
We're
shit, it's
drawing
already
Gamora.
morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tank, you missed. We were working on Captain America and Diamondback earlier. Now we're working on Gamora and Thanos. And this one's far looser. I feel like I butchered this one. I'm just not happy with it.
Which one's that? Which one?
Right here. The
This
one.
one?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. Good morning. You're not feeling it?
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. I like it.
I don't think it's there. But thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere.
That's what that's it. Yeah, that's my plan with the ladies, buddy.
Yeah.
I flatter them all over the place.
Talk
to the left, to the right. Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice, very nice. Oh, you got some coffee going. That's what I need. I need a cup of coffee, bro.
Yeah, I got one like right here that I'm like.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
dude, those chesties you got on her there, man, they just look like they're ready to explode. I love them.
Yeah. Big old boobalas.
Oh, Pete and the boobalas. What's Tank got to say? What sexiness is this?
Yeah.
I love how Shadowhawk breaks backs. Yeah, that was crazy times, man. I've got AIDS. I'm gonna break your back, bitch.
yeah.
Right? Like
I'm dying because I got the HIV. You're not walking.
Yeah, like what? How does that work?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. That's
so,
crazy.
Like,
Jim Valentino coming up with that stuff, you know?
Yeah, and it's almost like, wait, you're breaking like every back, or like some of them? Like you're like, what if someone is like, stealing a bag of potato chips from a convenience store? Like, are you breaking his back? Like, what's the back parameter? Like, who gets it broken? Who doesn't get it broken?
Wasn't there one character that he broke the back of the guy and then he realized like he was innocent or something? Was there a little storyline there? One of those?
Dude, maybe. I don't like I'm not 100% in like everything that happened in Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
Like I know because before too I was talking about the Vampire Roller crossover. And I only know that because I went through a phase where like I was reading as many crossovers as I could get. And because I was kind of like, oh, maybe this should be the direction for the channel. And and that's how I got into like reading that. But I don't even know like I have a stack of books too that I have to kind of fill in a couple gaps for. And I guess like that's what I'm reading for. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm pretty sure I have all of the Shadowhawk stuff, even the Vampirella stuff. And even like up to like the second or third volume. I think I think there was recently like a fourth volume that came out, but I don't have that.
And there's also, I think, in continuity, right? Like there might be like 3 or 4 Shadowhawks, because I think there was a new Shadowhawk for Image United. That was like a different Shadowhawk then, and because even within the regular series, he gave up the title. Like he became like a legacy character, like relatively quick too.
Right, and he didn't have AIDS anymore.
No AIDS for you.
But I'm still breaking backs, bitches.
Yeah. I got the AIDS. Your back's broken. I'm cured. Your back's broken.
Man.
It's like, slow down. Like, whew.
He's like, I'm gonna start breaking backs, laying down now because I ain't got the AIDS.
Yeah. I'm cured, still breaking backs.
Yep. Assume the position, woman. I'm gonna break some backs. Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I am lost in the thoughts on this one. I'm not even happy about it.
So you're using a Sharpie. I'm using a Sharpie S gel.
Oh yeah, how are those? It's like a gel
They're
pen,
pretty
right?
good. Yeah, pretty good. Once it dries, it's pretty waterproof. So,
Oh sweet.
and since I like to watercolor, works out all right.
Yeah, I noticed you've been doing a little bit more of that stuff on stream. You've been using the
Yeah,
those pens and kind of.
the Dollar Raleigh portable watercolor kit.
Oh, cool. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've refilled a bunch and added colors because, well, you can only do so much with a certain amount of colors. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good to always a lot of different art like material that like it's all kind of everything has like a starter kit. There's really kind of a low barrier like cost wise, and
yeah.
like that's one of the things I like. Like I like just kind of spending money and like having a like a little like inventory of things to get to and try and but then if you like it, you kind of have to go spend some real money. Like cost kind of
Yeah.
goes up at that point because then it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
need all the colors and fuck.
Yeah. It's always fun to you got to experiment and find what you like. Absolutely, yeah. So it's like 3 something in the morning for you, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah, actually, it is. Yeah, it's just about 3. Just hit 3 o'clock, and yeah, I got I'll have stuff to do. Some pretty soon. So it's going to be the work day. It's going to be showtime, but then it's still Friday, so people are going to be less responsive, which is fine. Usually today would be like a wash, like things would just be
Yeah.
done by now. But we are like I said, we're a little bit in crisis mode now. So
Yeah.
yeah, talking to a lot of
Well,
people.
we are Friday. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say like just talking to a lot of people like every single day. So
Yeah. One of my buddies' mom passed away this past week, so I got a funeral to go to later. Yeah, it sucks.
yeah, funeral. I hate funerals,
Yeah.
especially if it's like they're like doing the like pictures and you see people when they were young and like oh
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never got good with any funeral like ever.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing that stuff.
Yeah, nobody likes that shit, Pete. Nobody. Oh
Unless
man,
unless it's one of my
I go
enemies.
to a funeral today, Pete. I got one of my enemies.
Yeah, and if it's one of my enemies, different story.
That's a joyous occasion. Let's go
Yeah,
have some beers.
yeah, we're doing that's a different
Shit.
time. Yeah.
My enemies. Damn. Those are the savage days, Pete. We live in a modern day society. We don't wish that upon our enemies nowadays.
Yeah,
Gotta
you
take the
gotta
path
kind
of
of
Jesus. Gotta take the path of Jesus, Pete. I'm just kidding.
Love,
Do what the fuck you
love
want.
thy neighbor, learn to
Yeah.
forgive. Right.
Right. Shake hands, kiss baby cheeks, all that good stuff. Smell the hair, pull the bite in, whatever. I
The
kid.
Joe
I kid.
Biden smelling the hair.
That's so weird, man.
Yeah. Especially when there's just like a year, like years worth of like clips of it.
Yeah, yeah. Unknown 88. Yeah, those Copics are freaking expensive, man. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
Copics are. Yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta
here we
move to the Oohoos. Those are great. $80 for like the whole freaking set.
Yeah,
Or even less now, I think.
I saw like a couple people on YouTube do the comparisons, and
Yeah.
but so overall though, like I didn't realize, and I think this it wasn't a video. It might have been like an article, but I guess like the alcohol markers, like the Copics, and some of the
Yeah.
like like the off like the ones that mimic them, they're not like
Yeah.
archival, and they fade
No.
pretty
Yes.
heavily like in time. Yeah,
Yes.
and
That's why you
that's
gotta
kind of
scan it.
yeah, right, like scanning it in like right away, just so like
Yeah. But if you keep it out like where it gets a lot of sunlight, it'll fade pretty quick. But if you keep it, somewhere relatively neutral, with regular light, and maybe even if you really want to try to preserve it, put like a UV glass in front of it, like encase it in a glass
yeah,
case that has a slight UV protection on it, and that'll keep it from fading. It's not
okay,
too hard to help prevent it, but yeah. And if you keep it like in a portfolio, it won't fade that quickly. Like it'll
okay,
last, 10, 20
yeah,
years.
like not that I was overly concerned, but like I was just thinking of anyone like listening,
Just
they
good to
might,
know. Yeah, it's just good to know. Yeah,
yeah, it's just like
absolutely.
but this is like I think this piece I
Let me see.
lost
I
Kevin.
think I have.
There we go. I think I lost cabin pressure on this one.
All right, Pete. Just get pumped up again. Think about Project X,
Yeah,
and it's you'll get it back. So like this is this one right here. This is a
oh yeah,
a Copic piece, and this was 2014, and it really hasn't faded too much. But
no,
it's in this little portfolio. So, and here's some fan Copic pieces that when I would go to cons, I would ask people to
yeah,
draw a glitch and give them $20 or whatever, from local other artists around me and stuff. Let me see here. I got this is Copic. What's Copic in here? These are watercolor. I did Copic grays on this, but it's on red paper, so it didn't do a whole lot of.
yeah, but you can
Hasn't
still
changed a whole
see
lot.
like you can still see the variations. Yeah, that Mega Man.
Yeah,
look.
these are Copic. Yeah, color pencil line Copic for the Mega Man. The Mini Me's Copic.
The mini me.
Yeah. Oh, these are Copic right here. And these haven't faded at all, and these are
Oh yeah,
ooh, 10 years old right here.
Are they really? Wow. Oh, we got
Yeah.
the Nick's in the
Oh,
best
Nick.
live stream on the planet. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. The Nick knows.
One of the other big fans that I compete with, huh?
Yeah.
Commenting and liking Pete's posts. I'm just kidding.
Dude, I am always grateful and flattered. Yeah.
Man, I'm always shocked. I'm like, go for it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say because like there was times, lots of times where there was no one. Like I was talking. Yeah, there was no one out there. So I'm always grateful.
Well, so I'll watch one of your videos, right? I'm like, oh shit, he just dropped this like 3 minutes ago. And I'm like, oh, nobody's liked it. Nobody's commented. What the fuck? This is Peter, aka Pad Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's a fucking like, here's a fucking comment. Hell yeah, Peter.
Yeah, right.
Like, bring what the people need.
Gotta change this algorithm.
Yeah, Pete's got to get hits, bro. What are you talking about? He's putting out bangers daily.
Yeah, but hey,
Uh,
you know, like I know a lot of channels. Some of them are like friends of mine, and they'll have a video sit there for just months, and stay at like 28 views like the entire time, and like never bulge. But me, like I think even this week, I've had like comments on videos that were like years old. I had like a couple of those, and they were all like different accounts. And that's kind of cool when people find like your old stuff, and then you see those views, and you're like, oh wow, like this one kind of has legs. And
yeah.
but that's a part of like kind of making like evergreen driven content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Your channel has so much evergreen content, in my opinion, that it's gonna you're gonna be 50 years old, Pete, and your content's still gonna be like kicking. Like,
Well,
oh, hey, honey, look, I got another like and a comment from a 12-year-old
yeah,
in like 2030,
dude. The best is because like I positioned a lot of it. Like for example, like the Top Cow stuff and the Wildstorm stuff. Like I
Yeah.
positioned that to take over YouTube search. So like if
Oh
you
yeah,
search,
cool.
like if you search like Wildstorm or Jim Lee, like I come up
Yeah,
like right there. And the
that's fucking awesome, dude.
yeah, so but that it's also kind of like like you want that because I just feel like if people want to learn about Top Cow Productions, they should find my stuff because like we go,
Hell yeah.
like like it's pretty detailed. So
Yeah,
the,
absolutely.
like even with the grifter video from earlier, like
No, I
putting
haven't
that
watched it yet.
together.
I'm excited for it. Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
excited for it.
and a little bit of like what's surrounding that is kind of like how they really screwed up releasing that character, and they wedged him basically in the middle of like a crossover, and it's just like fuck, like like this is probably like your one real shot to have a breakout character by giving him like a solo series, and you do like a good one shot, like a halfway decent one shot, but like you kind of see what the positioning is for the monthly, and the monthly runs right into Wildstorm Rising, and you're like, oh my god, like why? Like you kind of
Yeah,
see it,
yeah.
and you kind of
Uh-huh.
don't, but we know it didn't work. So like like the perspective shifts a little bit.
Grifter was poised to be the next freaking Wolverine, basically, of the Wildstorm comic book universe, He was right there. Punisher, Wolverine. He was supposed to be a household name,
Yeah, I
you know?
think, like, and they did you ever see the Flashpoint DC animated movie? Yeah, like,
No,
or if you know
Flashpoint.
what I'm talking about, like they did like an
Yeah, I
animated
know
of
what you're talking
Flashpoint.
about.
Yeah, so
Sure. Uh-huh.
Grifter's like in like the final of that where he's at this like
What?
yeah, and they I had the clips and I was going to add it to the episode earlier, and it
Hmm.
was like like I don't know where to put the clips, but he's with like Thomas Wayne, like the Thomas Wayne Dark Knight, and they kill Black Manta. Like like
Hmm.
it's and then he gets killed by the Amazonians, and then like they put him in the New 52. He gets a launch with the New
Right.
52, and
Yeah.
like but people love that fucking character. They still do.
Yeah.
They could do a grifter HBO Max show and make it like a spy espionage show, and people would buy into it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So they made him part of the Batman universe, right? With Red Hood and all that bullshit.
I believe so. Yeah, he's like another one of these like assassin, like higher, like gun guys. He's just like a like a
Right.
gun guy.
Right.
Yeah, but he's Cole Catch. That's our boy.
Yeah. But he works with Batman and stuff, and he's like, I'm a good guy.
Yeah, we got him right here. Cole Cash.
Cole
Got my
Hold Cash.
grifter toy.
Yeah, he was badass. He was actually one of the first Image comic characters that I drew as a kid.
No way.
It
That's
wasn't
all.
it wasn't good, but I tried.
Yeah,
I
I
like the
mean,
mask.
you're a kid though.
We try, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're a freaking kid.
I wanted it to be awesome, Pete. I wanted to be awesome like Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee.
Yeah, I just wanted to draw books for less than 5 years and live off of that.
God, can you imagine? Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's dude. You know, like, oh, so I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this because this was, and I, dude, this idea kind of caught fire, and I've been thinking about it so much. Like, I want to like what I just said. I want to visualize. So,
Okay.
like, I want to visualize like Todd McFarlane's comic book arc, or like
Yeah.
even like Rob Liefeld's, and I want
Yeah.
to and I want to sell the idea by showing you the stacks of books. So
Uh-huh.
like I want to do like
That's a
the
cool
stack
idea.
of like Rob Liefeld before Marvel, with like some of the DC work, and then it's
Yeah.
like the Marvel work gets a little bit bigger, and then like the Extreme Universe work, right? Like
Uh-huh.
500 characters created, like even like his publishing though, right? Like, and then
Yeah.
it goes from like
Are you gonna
maximum.
show the indie stuff before DC? Like the 2 or 3 books he did before
Yeah,
DC?
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
so
Megaton and the fan
yeah,
pamphlet.
so like the the whole idea is like this. Is here like let me grab a good sharp. So it would be like if I did Rob Liefeld's stack, it would be like like indie, like Marvel, Extreme, and then it's like Maximum, and then it's like Awesome, and then it's like
Mhm.
arcade, like he then it's all like single issue like run.
Yeah.
It kind of goes like that.
Oh, and
And
then he goes back to Marvel for a little bit, right? And puts out
yeah,
5
right. Like
books.
yeah, you can put in like the Marvel stuff, like it's like even with some of his like the Snake Eyes stuff, but it's more or less like this arc though, where he kind of like drops down to these like single
Right.
one everything becomes like a one issue thing with him, and like to further that, like the Jim Lee penciling, it would just be
Mhm.
like Jim Lee and Marvel would be like this, right? Like because we have
Mhm.
Punisher and we have X-Men, and then he gets
Mhm.
into Wildstorm, and Wildstorm is kind of like less, and then we get
Mhm.
into like his DC penciling. So like Jim Lee
Yeah.
kind of even goes like in that direction, and I want to do it with having the books like stacked.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
that's such a cool way to illustrate. Because like and Tom McFarlane would be like right like Marvel, and then he's got like 20 issues of Spawn, and Tom McFarlane even goes that way, just with McFarlane's penciling.
Right. Don't
Right?
forget his
Like
DC stuff.
yeah,
He did a bunch
yeah,
of
yeah.
stuff
He's
at
got like
DC.
a couple DC here. He's got like Invasion. He's got Year Two. So like, but McFarlane kind of goes like he starts small, Marvel, but this here is like 5 years, and Jim Lee, this is like 5 years, and we do if we do
Yeah,
this
that's a cool
Liefeld, it's
idea.
about
Yeah.
5 years, like like, and that's give and take, but it's kind of like these guys build up not just goodwill with the pre-image work, and the early image work, but they also built like bank accounts. So it's like goodwill and bank accounts. And then like, they keep going, and McFarlane can do like a cover here and there. He can do like a digital cover, and Jim Lee, like Jim Lee's cover artwork is like huge. But when we talk about his like interiors, it's like
I remember seeing an old interview with Jim Lee, and he was, I think he was just starting Hush, or he had just finished Hush, or it was right around the Hush time. And of course, he's the head muckety muck of DC or whatever, or co-publisher. And he's like, you know what? Even as a co-publisher, I should be able to do like 52 pages a year, and I'm gonna get on the schedule of doing 52 pages. We just finished Hush, so I should be able to do, story arcs for the next, 5-6 years, of at least 52 pages, and he had talked
What?
about like doing the Superman one. So he did
Yeah,
Superman, right? And he was gonna do Flash and Green Lantern and Wonder Woman and Justice League, and like he only got up to Justice League, I think. But
yeah.
and he didn't do the 52 pages a year. But he was like, yeah. I mean, that's the minimum I could do, right? I was
Dude,
like,
that's so
that's one
crazy.
page a
Yeah,
week.
because I think then, like, I think they wanted him monthly for like a Suicide Squad, and he did like 2 issues
Three
of
issues, yeah, two or
yeah,
three
like
issues, yeah.
really low stuff. And dude, but that's the way he's always been. Like, and he's never quite been like that since Wildcats. When he left Wildcats, I get it. He did 12 issues of Hush. He did 12 issues of Superman. Like, yeah, like he's done these like year-long arcs, but he hasn't done
Hmm.
anything longer than 12 months. Like
Even
that's it.
the X-Men stuff wasn't more than a year, right?
Yeah, and it's not like he drew that all the way through. Like he even had gaps with Uncanny X-Men. Like,
And a
like
shitload of help from the studio
yes.
for almost all the run of X-Men, except for like maybe 5 issues.
Yeah, no, I think Jim Lee from early on was running a studio. And that's the thing too, because like there's what's his name? Like the guy who did Bloodstrike for Rob Liefeld, Carl
Strikes.
Allstatter. Yeah.
Alistair, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Alistair. Yeah. Alistair used to be the layout guy. So Alistair sometimes will post like Uncanny X-Men pages and be like, "Oh, these are my layouts."
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Holy shit. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
like
Wilson was helping a shitload on all that X-Men stuff.
yeah,
Even
like
Art T Bear and yeah.
well, if you get familiar enough with their line work, you can spot
Oh,
Wells's
you can spot,
shadows,
yeah,
hair,
100%. Yeah.
some of his effects because he drew very different effects than Jim Lee. Like
Right.
like
He has a more
or
blocky kind of Magnolia feel.
yeah, 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 and he's great with shadows. Like he
Hmm.
even in his later years, like he's a master of the black and white
Yeah,
side.
kind of his stuff is like less is more with Wills. Like it's freaking
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah. And he did
and
a
you can
whole year
even
run
see
on Spawn back in the day.
yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. He did the what the end game was it like the end? I forget
Yeah,
what
yeah.
his
I think you're right. Yeah.
his
Uh-huh.
part was. Yeah, it was like end game. Yeah,
It was right before they turned Spawn to a white guy.
I
Or
know.
right after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
white
Got rid of
boy.
Al Simmons. Yeah.
That's everything we need. Like like
Mm.
your one selling point for your character, Todd, is that he's African American, and now you race swap him.
Yeah. Which I in the end I didn't really care. Like whatever, I
No,
don't care.
no, it's just, but
It
no,
did
but it's a part of like like how you identify with the character though. Like it has the dude,
right.
like if you wanted to extend that logic, it would be the same logic break if they called something a predator that didn't look like a predator. Like if they're like, oh, we just use another alien species wearing predator armor. And you're like, no, like we kind of went to dreadlocks and the mandibles, and we want them to be like 8
right.
tall,
We're
right?
gonna make
Like,
a movie called Prey, and it's gonna be with Native Americans. Hey, look, there's a predator.
yeah,
It's called Prey, though.
yeah, and technically too, right? Like that's they have a whole explanation of why that predator has like a bigger head, right? Like I
Yeah,
thought they
yeah.
yeah, that's like a whole, and you're like, like just put the like we just want the guy from the Schwarzenegger movie, just put him in all the movies, like
They're gonna make a part 2 of Prey, and I actually liked Prey. I thought it was pretty good. I liked the girl in it, and I think it's dumb that she's as strong as she is, but like she does use her wits, right?
yeah, I
But
don't think that was I don't think that was a bad movie like at all. Um,
yeah,
like dude,
it was fun.
I I support. I like that movie. I like the like the new aliens, like Covenant. I
Oh
like
yeah.
Prometheus.
You know, the more I watch Romulus, the more I love it.
Oh,
And
dude,
like
Romulus,
so much more of it makes sense.
dude,
Uh
Romulus, Romulus pulls in all the movies. Like
yeah.
it's like
Uh-huh.
Romulus even explains why they're trying to get the Sigourney Weaver, like in that third movie when they show up at the end and they're trying to get the embryo, because
Yeah.
they're doing all this shit, like they want it for the genetic side, and then seeing how that pays off in Resurrection. Again, it's more
Right.
genetic like manipulation, and you're just like, wow, like Romulus sets
Well,
all that up.
didn't they say something about also trying to fix the fact that they had one of their androids do all this and they're trying to cover their ass as well? Wasn't there something implied about that?
Yeah,
Oh, we made a genetic mistake because we had this android go rogue and he created all this shit. So we're trying to figure out how to undo
yeah.
it, but use it or some shit like that, right?
I think some of that is because I think Ridley Scott came into Romulus, and
Yeah.
I think it's almost like they were not going to use the black ooze, or they were, and Scott like
Right.
insisted that they do, or something like that. And it's all from like he's making like that third movie, like he's making the Covenant follow up.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
like a couple YouTube, like there's like alien theory channels that cover like all
I
the
love
little comments
those.
he's making along the yeah,
Yeah.
which I do like. I like the constant drip of like micro
Yeah.
dosing information about movies. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's the most
Yeah.
addicting thing like on YouTube,
Yes. Yes.
where I'm like
All
who
that
said
shit with
what?
aliens and Blade Runner, all that shit sucks me in, man. I'm just like, what? I just watched 2 hour video on this bullshit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Love
And
it.
now I gotta
Love
watch the
it.
movie again. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I was obsessed with Prometheus when it came out and it finally came out on video. I watched that. I've watched Prometheus probably like 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Dude, did you ever make the connection that that Prometheus is almost like a remake of Aliens versus Predator? Like for like the first like 30 minutes, where like they have the maps, they follow the maps, they get to the destination, they start dealing with the alien crap. Like it's like I think you can time those movies,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
even in AVP, they have the scene where they're all in the room and they're like, "This is our
Uh-huh.
discovery, and this is what you guys are going to be doing."
Yes, yes.
And then you have people like mouthing off, like, "What is this crap? I'm here for the paycheck."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
both of those movies kind of have the same exact beginning. Yeah, and they both have Waylon show up. Like Waylon kind of comes out of nowhere during the
Yeah,
presentation, and he's like,
yeah,
I selected all of you because you're all the best at what you guys do in the field,
yeah,
that you're the best at what you're doing.
yeah.
But yeah, I love the music uh
Yes.
for Pro.
Prometheus,
Yeah, Prometheus's music is
Covenant.
some of the best. Yeah, some of the
Yeah,
modern
dude.
day best.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I watched this behind the or like the explanation of the of Romulus and
Oh,
Prometheus and Covenant and then the Alien movies, and they talk about how like they're all kind of and I think you mentioned it too, they're kind of echoing the same story but from different perspectives of different groups, right? So like
yeah,
one of them's the aliens is the army one, alien one was the mining one, and
yeah. It's
Romulus
like
is a bunch of dumb kids, right?
right,
And once they said
yeah, like
that,
by the time they get to the killing theme of Romulus, it's a teenage slasher murder
right,
movie.
and
Yeah,
they're dumb kids, so they make
yeah,
dumb choices and dumb decisions, and that explained everything for me because I'm like, why are you going that way? Why don't you all just leave, right? Because you're not
yeah,
smart. That's why. Because you're a dumb kid.
yeah. But dude, I will look. I've been in situations where I've told people where I'm like, we should get out of here. Like let's go.
Yeah.
And I've been in
Yeah.
like situation, and I've had people argue, like say no, like yeah, like where it's like this is where we have to disappear, guys. Otherwise, like we're
We're going down
potentially
a dark
going to-
path.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dude, like people in, I think I always feel that's a little bit of an unfair like criticism, because like you're supposed, like you're adding yourself into a situation that you have a
Right.
god like
Yes.
view of, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like you're God watching these people go through this stuff, and you're saying, "Wow,"
Right.
and it's like, dude, like like when you're in the moment sometimes, and you get the adrenaline's going, and
Right. Yeah, yeah.
dude, you don't know, and you revert to instincts a lot. Like
Right.
you
Right.
revert to, and sometimes the instinct says, like, I'll stay, or I'm safe, and whatever, you know.
Fight or flight, right? Or
Yeah.
frozen. Or frozen even.
But dude, I love the look and just the atmosphere of Romulus. To me, that it feel like when they're in the lab and they're talking to like Ash, or the Ash 2.0.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
it's, you're almost just like, wow, like it looks like this is just like an unused set from Alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I love
and-
how it starts off on that shitty mining planet.
dude,
I'm like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, this kind of feels like Star Wars, kind of Blade Runner-y. What the fuck's happening? Where are we?
It's like a mining world where it's just like, slave labor almost.
Right. The modern enslavement of the child. It wasn't even her. It was the
Yeah.
parents. And they're like, fuck this. Let's get the fuck off this planet.
Dude, and but like they set her up too, of just kind of like being desperate enough to like do that.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
And you're like, when she does, see, like that's what movie storytelling is, when characters make like a decision like that, and you know why they're making that decision, and you also like agree with it, because like then like
Yeah,
the movies
absolutely.
like like that's where like the movie's so far in your head, it's telling you what to think. That's
Yeah.
good storytelling. Yeah.
Well, because everything was against her. She lost all her parents, and she's become a slave to this corporation. And you're like, no, fuck that, right? It's that American spirit that like makes you want to rebel and just be like, no, let's get the fuck off this planet.
Dude, I love it too when she tries to like, when they like up her like credits, when they up her time, like right in front of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, dude, and it's just like the hopelessness of that. And you're like, you know what? Like maybe a crazy xenomorph is better than this.
Yes. Yeah. 100%, dude. Yeah. Like, I'll take fighting the xenomorph and trying to get my freedom and staying here and stuck in ass.
I need to fight a xenomorph in zero gravity, please.
Yeah. And and the more I watch the Romulus, the more I want her to have a continuing movies, continuing.
Yeah. Real quick, Hildar, Zero Therum. What is? I gotta look that up. Do you know that 2013?
Let me see.
No, and this is what Christopher Waltz right here. I gotta watch. Oh, it's Terry Gilliam. How do I not know?
Really, Terry Gilliam? Yeah.
Yeah. How do I not know about this?
When did this come out? Is this new or what is this?
No, I think it's like 20. Because he's dead now, right? I think he died.
Yeah.
2013. I gotta watch this.
Therium?
Yeah, Therium. Yeah, Therium.
Pete, you ever watched the movie Mr. Nobody with Jared Leto?
Yes, I like that movie. Dude, I'm a big Jared
okay.
Leto guy, though. I love Jared Leto.
I like Jared Leto too, yes. But that movie creeped me out, man. It gave me nightmares. I don't know why. I think it has to do with like they keep bringing the guy back to life.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think something about that tripped me out.
That's solid. Like there's almost like that's almost like within a there's like a realm of like kind of like they're not even like mid budget. They're just like there's Ex Machina that came out
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
there's
I love that
Equilibrium
movie.
with Christian
Yeah.
Bale.
Yeah.
Even like I always reference like Dark City for that reason because I put
Yeah.
like they're like these like perfectly mid grade science fiction like universes.
What about Ultraviolet with Mia Jovovich?
Yeah, you know,
You
I
remember
like
that one?
well, I like that, and I love the because I guess like with that movie, people don't understand how her weapons come out of nowhere. Like you know how she like
Yeah.
holds out her hand and the weapon kind of
Right.
and to where
Yeah.
it's almost like the weapons are held in an alternate dimension that compresses atoms and she can
Right.
summon it. Yeah. Like you know,
Right.
like it's such a crazy, far out like science fiction thing. And you know, people will just like almost pretend like these things are like happening around. But I like the look of that, like
Right.
aesthetically.
But like
Yeah.
how much of a stretch is that to like freaking Iron Man's nanotechnology? Like, in the
Right.
later Avengers films. It's not even a big stretch, and
No,
they
I don't
explain it. And,
right.
go ahead.
Yeah, because she has in that movie, she has a whole narrate like she explains it within the movie. Like
Yeah.
she tells you like what the tech is. And dude, I think that movie has like it's almost like I look at that movie the same way how I looked at the Matrix at one time, where I believe like the Wachowskis reverse engineered the ridiculous things that would happen in 90s action movies. You know, like people outrunning explosions and guns never running out and kind of like insane acrobatics by John McClane and Murdoch from like Lethal Weapon. And the
Yeah.
Wachowskis like reverse engineered how that would be believable in a universe. So then they're like, oh, if these guys are like in a simulation where they can control gravity in a particular way, then we can do that. Like we'll have this ridiculous action movie in a realm of like believability. And Ultraviolet Violet is like that. You know, like it gives this
Right.
insane action, but it builds the landscape for it. Like it's baked into the dough, for lack of a better term.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But dude, the funny thing is though, I guess like anyone would be like, oh, like Peter likes everything, and I really don't. Like like I don't, but I think there's like like whatever movie you watch, there's always something that movie is doing that no other movie has. And that's what I get into. I love it when, dude, I was just, that Electric State movie that just dropped on fucking Netflix. And I
Yeah,
watched
I want to
that.
watch
And
that.
dude, I watched that and I'm just like, man, like this is such a fun robot like universe. Like this is just fucking, and I get it. Like the melodrama, it's all like formulaic or paint by numbers. But the world that they live in, I'm like, you know what? I like this. Like, I'm okay with this. I don't need this to be Citizen Kane. We're not making The Godfather here. We have talking
Yeah,
robots.
you're not gonna do Rosebud every freaking movie, man. Like it's different genres, different audiences, popcorn movies and romance movies, comedies. I miss good comedies, man, with gratuitous nudity and bullshit fucking speeches and nonsense, of the Caddyshack days and
Yeah.
when things weren't so like
What's
I don't
what's
know,
the what's
overly.
the what's the last like comedy you think that you got really into? Like, that's a newer movie.
Comedy, newer. Let me do a quick search, man, because
Yeah, right. Yeah.
there's not a
Because
lot of movies that
I
I've
think about
watched
that a
at the
lot.
movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think about that a lot, and I always kind of, I go back to like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't know if there's like anything, and that's not me being hard. But it's not like there haven't been like fun or funny movies, but
Hmm.
it's the style of comedy. It's like that
Right.
things are
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
harsh and mean and like even like a little bit wrong. Like
Yeah.
it's corrupt in a particular way.
Um, comedy movies. Let's see. What's been out
Yeah.
recently? I'm looking, man, because I really want to give you an answer. Did you
Yeah.
watch The Brutalist? I watched The
Oh yeah.
Brutalist, right? It won the Academy Award. I'm just like, man, this movie's fucking horrible. I mean, I
Oh
loved it
yeah.
as a
Look,
movie.
dude, I love that movie. I thought I
It's so hard to watch. It's oh my god. Yeah, go
well,
ahead.
it's
Go
like
ahead. Sorry.
it's almost 4 hours long too. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But
Like I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie. It was a good movie. It's just really hard to watch. It's so daunting. The guy gets kicked in his balls so many times, literally. Like he's just, oh, you know.
yeah, no,
It's
dude, like no, I look, I get that movies like that are not um like it's almost like they're it's a desired taste. But but I
it's like
remember when
Schindler's List, but like more depressing.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you
Anyway,
can get
sorry.
any yeah. Like I I think I've seen Schindler's List like one time, like I've seen parts of it other times,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like okay with like not having to watch that movie again because it's so fucking
Right.
just depressing to me
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sad. Like it's just fucking people suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I did like Brutalist. I like Enora. I think
I haven't
for
watched that one yet, but I want to watch
yeah,
it. Yeah.
it's on Hulu now or crazy. It's on Disney Plus, and I don't know how like Enora is almost like a porn movie at times. I don't know, like you have a near porn movie right next to Snow White, so whatever.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind
like
of like when that film came out. What's her name? She played Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Man movies.
oh,
Uh,
pretty little thing, right? The you're talking about what's her name? Uh, Emma Stone.
she's beautiful. Yeah, Emma Stone, beautiful girl. Yeah, but when the Wild Thing or whatever that movie she came out in, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, there's so
where
much
she's
nudity
almost
in
like
it.
yeah,
Yeah, and
and then
she's
you're
like
like, what?
a whore and well, a call girl woman, right? In Paris or whatever. What do they call them?
Escorts.
An escort. Yeah, there you go. What is this Dune World? Dune World. Oh, I watched The Gate, and I
Oh yeah,
really liked
oh
it
sure,
as
yeah,
it's yeah. So you did a review of it, and because of your review, I watched it, and I really liked it as a kind of a romance film. It wasn't even like everything else wasn't important really. It was just kind of like of their relationship, like them making a relationship. I thought that was kind of sweet.
yeah,
It's like it's like a little romance movie. That's cool.
yeah.
Um,
It um, but if you're really into um almost just like human like drama movies, the guy that made Anora, Scott Baker or Sean Baker,
mhm,
he made like two other movies. One of them's called The Florida Project, and I think that's on HBO Max now. And The
mhm,
Florida Project has such like a shot at the end. It all goes into like the very end of that movie. It's like
mhm.
it's one of those like shots and moments during a film that doesn't leave you. Like it should be with you forever. And he made this
Yeah.
other movie called Red Rocket. And
Red Rocket.
yeah, and Red Rocket is basically just like this, like, like reformed, like porn star that like he ends up back home, and it's just like, the guy's like a POS and everyone around him is a POS. And
Mm-hmm.
but everything's like so natural. Like I don't know, like he does it with Honora too, where like if I don't know if you ever spent time around some of those people where like everything is kind of like a story and everything is like overly dramatic, and when they tell you things it just keeps going and going, and every time you talk to them it's like multiple disasters happening at the same time, and you say to yourself like, how does this person like even live? Like, how does this person
Yeah.
function? Like he's a master at capturing that in his movies.
Yeah.
And it's something I never thought I would see someone do like consistently. And but there were times where like I was watching Nora and I'm just like, wow, like I know this girl. I know
Yeah.
exactly the type of person that she is, because she is so fucking angry and fiery in that movie. But in the movie, it's a situation, so it's like you're kind of like, well, I would be screaming too, but no, he's really good though. But like I
So
can also
one of the
see,
last.
yeah, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Sorry.
No, you.
I was going to say one of the last movies that I saw that I just kind of randomly put on that I wasn't expecting a whole lot was Longlegs, and
Dude,
seeing
yeah,
Nick Cage as the clown guy was fucking phenomenal.
yeah,
I was like,
like
what the hell is happening here? I love this. Give me
yeah.
more.
Do
It was haunting.
do you feel that movie didn't explain enough, or are you okay with kind of like like the loose explanations of what he was like potentially up to?
No, I wanted more answers for sure. Yeah, and the twist. Well, I don't want to. If you haven't watched it, I don't
Yeah,
want to
I've
ruin
seen
it.
it. Yeah, I've
But
seen
that,
it. Yeah.
well, the audience, if anybody's listening,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
eventually.
Well, no, hey, we can do spoilers because we're adults. Yeah.
Right.
Dude,
Well,
we
I'll
were
just
just
say this:
talking about
the go
yeah,
for it.
real quick. Yeah, we were just talking about Citizen Kane and Rosebud, right? Like fucking spoiler
Yeah.
there.
Rosebud. Yeah. People won't get that one. Nobody watches Citizen Kane. Like, oh yeah, I watched it. Yeah. I don't think you watched it.
You're probably right on that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's been such a long time since I've watched Citizen Kane. I barely remember any of it.
Oh my
Um,
god, you really have to.
it's
That's the
good. It's
only
good.
thing.
I've watched it
Yeah.
a couple of times, but it takes a while to watch it. It's slow paced because it's such an older movie.
Do you have like go to movies, like what, like I know we're talking about Long Legs, but what are your like go to?
Oh yeah, we'll get back to it. Go-to movies, dude. Back in the day, my go-to movies that were constantly on: Fight Club, Empire Strikes Back, Project X, all the Alien movies, um, like Ghost in the Shell, Superman Returns, or no, Superman, the Zack Snyder Superman. I played that one a crap load of times.
Oh man, yeah,
Uh,
MOS.
Edge of Tomorrow. The Watchmen. I've watched The Watchmen so many times. Pulp Fiction was on all the time earlier. Yeah, there's a slew of movies that were constantly on all the time. Yeah, but it's kind of that genre, that era right there. Sci-fi stuff, and not a
what
lot of horror movies, alien stuff, but not horror movies.
yeah,
Not a
it's
big horror
like
guy.
yeah, like horror, like what you're calling horror movies. That's almost like a shit, like a Schindler's List. Like you can only see those movies like so many times.
Right.
Like you can
Right.
only see human suffering so much for like to entertain yourself.
Right,
Um,
like not a huge fan of like the Freddy movies or Halloween. I actually like Halloween though, the couple of them. But like those weren't on all the time, you know. I didn't watch those over and over again, you know, kind of thing.
yeah. See, like I went through a phase when I was like pretty young where I did nothing but watch the Dark Crystal, uh the Zack one of Zack Snyder's favorite movies, Excalibur, the John Borman movie,
Hmm.
and Aladdin. Like that was like this trifecta that I watched like every single day.
Really?
Yeah, like I would have one of those movies on at one time, and I look back now, and yeah, it was like probably like a year, like or not like a year, maybe like a whole summer, where I just endlessly watched like one of those three movies until I just knew everything about them, and like, I would say like even now like I hardly ever watch Excalibur because I know that like I just have every single shot like memorized. I know that movie like so well. Or like Aladdin, I'll watch any of the Disney like movie like animations, but I never put on Aladdin because I know every single like everything for that movie. But yeah, you should always you gotta watch Kane. You gotta make Citizen Kane as part of your repertoire. Oh, we lost him. Back to the chat. Is that him or is that me? Oh, he dropped. Yeah, very strange, dude. Dude, Hilder, dude. This is one of the great things. This is why I love the chat. It's always like that new thing, dude. It's always that new thing. Uh, yeah, but don't kill yourself. I think I'm going to call it. I'm just looking at, dude. It's almost 4 o'clock. I'm gonna be all systems go relatively soon. So I got stuff to do. It's Friday. I want to get things done early. Um, thanks, dude. Thanks a million for hanging out. I do appreciate it, guys. We're going to end it with a video. Let's end it with a little bit of